Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the 2025 Delta Islanders lacrosse season. Steve Erickson, Jag Lawley, our pleasure to welcome you for tonight's game. Sophie doing all the magic work on camera as usual. Welcome to our game, Friday night game for your Delta Islanders' first game of the season, taking on New West. Jag, what should we expect this year? Because last year, the Islanders did not have as successful as a season they wanted. But what do you think we should expect this year?
Well, Steve, first off, I want to say, it's a blessing to be able to be back here behind the mic for the Delta Islanders. This is something that obviously we don't take for granted. It's absolutely phenomenal to be able to do this and be able to be back for another great summer of Delta Islanders lacrosse. And like you said, last year wasn't the year necessarily that the Islanders expected. They thought that they could have done better. They thought that obviously that, with how they ended up things, obviously, falling to the Coquitlam Adirondacks in a winner-take-all Game 3, where it was Spencer Vandenberg of the Adirondacks who scored the game-winning goal. I remember because I was on the call for that at the train station out on Poirier. The Islanders know that they have to build off of the momentum of the run that they made last year. Obviously not satisfied. At the end of the season, only one team can be happy. That's the team lifting the championship. But the Islanders know there's still work left to be done, and they're looking to make the steps necessary to get to that point.
If there's any consolation, we've been saying that about the Canucks for a long time.
Oh, well, very much. And,
new game.
It's a whole new game. The Canucks necessarily didn't have the season they wanted. New coach, and I know there's been a couple of coaching changes for the Delta Islanders as well this season. Only difference between this and hockey is there's no icing.
Yeah, and you're warmer.
Yeah, very much. I can tell you we're here at the Liner Leisure Center all year long in the winter calling hockey for the Delta Ice Sox. And like you said, now we're warmer. We don't have to wear two coats at the same time.
Not at all, not at all. Welcome again to everybody for our first game of the season for Sportswave, our pleasure. And, of course, we've got a new streaming provider, which we're absolutely thrilled about. The old one went by the wayside like my ex-wife, and it's so nice to have the new one on board. Sorry, that was my inside voice. Anyway, it's so nice to have it on board. We should make mention that the team personnel, I'll give the coaching staff for Delta, and then you can give them for New West. Coaching staff, the head coach for the Delta Islanders, Nathan Wilson. Assistant coach, they've got listed as Logan Shush. Garrett Brown and Keegan Kozak they're the assistant coaches. Madison Summers and Leanne Neves are Madison Summers is a trainer, and Leanne Neves is the manager that does everything conceivably that they ask her to do. And for New West, Jag?
Yeah, for the New West Salmon Belly, Shane Carney is the head coach, the bench boss, the assistants Jake Lynn and Mitch Flintoff. The president for the New West Salmon Bellies is Walt Weaver. The GM governor, Sean Flintoff, as well as, there's actually quite a few names on here. Sean Flintoff.
They got the paper, make use of it.
Yeah, assistant GM Justin Digby. The manager is Melissa Flintoff. The player development team is Gary Van Beek, Rory McDade, and they don't have the trainers listed on here, but I'm sure that the trainers are behind the bench. It is a selfless job at the end of the day. The trainers do so much to make sure that these athletes can be at their best when it comes to leaving it all out there on the floor.
Interesting to see how the game's going to play tonight. But again, welcome to our broadcast on Sportswave. Our pleasure to welcome you for the call for the game. First game tonight, and of course, barring the game that we're doing here, we should make mention that the Warriors had their game one of the playoffs tonight and dropped by a little bit of what you call a sizable score, I guess. But nonetheless, they made the playoffs.
Yeah, very much. And I think that it has to be given credit to head coach Kurt Malosky for what he's done turning around that program. Obviously, his second year behind the bench of the Vancouver Warriors. Kurt Malosky, no stranger to the community here in Delta, BC. I believe he grew up playing lacrosse here in the lower mainland. And for what he's done, Steve, obviously a tough loss here for game one, but the Vancouver Warriors will be back in action this Sunday, and Sportswave will be covering that as well. We'll be obviously, I'll have the privilege to go out and catch that and write a story up on the Sportswave website, but it really needs to be said that Kurt Malosky has played such a pivotal part in making lacrosse exciting again here in the lower mainland.
Well, lacrosse is such a big sport in the lower mainland. I mean, back east, they play, especially in Ontario, there's a lot of lacrosse going on. But in the prairies, not a lot in Alberta. But even on the East Coast, there's not a lot of lacrosse either. But nonetheless, this is a sport that continues to grow. And contrary to what some people might believe, this is actually Canada's national summer sport. Hockey is the national winter sport.
Very much. And I mean, people know about hockey all the time. Hockey's very popular right now, considering the Stanley Cup playoffs are going on. But when it comes summer, not only does the weather changes, the sport changes as well. And in this summer, we will have all the coverage for the Delta Islanders as well as the Ladner Pioneers as well. Steve, lots of lacrosse to call, and I couldn't be more excited to be a part of it.
Very much. Before we move on, we should congratulate everyone that ran in the election. And in the Delta area, we want to congratulate Jill McKnight, who got elected in the Liberal Party, and wish Jill all the best. She just stepped down from the Chamber of Commerce. Before she was at the Chamber of Commerce, she actually had, ran her own business. I think it was South Coast Casuals. I could be wrong with the name, but it was in Ladner. She moved over to the Chamber of Commerce, and now she's got a big role because she's filling the shoes for Carla Quattro. And Carla Quattro was actually at one point in time our sports minister for Canada. And I asked Carla, just a side note to that, I asked Carla, last time I talked to her, actually last week at the Kids Sport Gala, I said, how was your summer last summer? I said, I know you were busy with the Olympics and all that. And I said, so I'm just curious, how did it go? And she said, it was great until somebody flew a drone. So you can imagine that concept right there.
Yeah, very much. And I mean, like you said, congratulations obviously to Jill McKnight, who was elected in. That was an interesting election to watch on TV as well. Of course, all of these, all of the people that ran in the election, I think we have to give a congratulations to them as well. They stood for what they believed in, and I know even the people that did not get elected, they'll continue to do what's best for their community.
Well, I covered the all candidates meeting up in North Delta, and I'll be honest, I was really impressed because despite the fact that, they didn't get elected and put in a position, they all ran and they gave up their free time, and I appreciate that, pro or con, I don't care who you voted for. I always tell everybody, I couldn't care less who you vote for. Just get out and vote. And I say that very honestly because my father was a World War II vet, and I missed one election, and my mother never let me hear the end of it, Jag. And that's the only election I missed when I lived in Winnipeg.
Yeah, well, I mean, ever since I've turned the age eligible to vote, this was my second election that I voted in. The first one, obviously, the BC election back last October. And I mean, I even remember the day before the election, we were out in Chilliwack, and on the drive home, I told you that, hey, I'm going to go out and vote tomorrow, and you said you better. So I was pretty convinced that I needed to go and make my opinion known. And obviously, as you said, if you do not vote, you can't have a say in it, whatever goes on afterwards.
Mom used to say, if you don't vote, you can't complain. It's
Very
absolutely
much.
true. Anyway, back to the game at hand. And again, congratulations, everybody. Game at hand right now. What type of thing, who do you think is going to be more aggressive in the start right off the bat?
Well, both of these teams are coming off of big games last time out. The New West Salmon Bellies are coming off of a 10-9 loss against the Nanaimo Clippers. Noah Faria was the offensive engine. He scored 4 goals, including a natural hat trick that helped to erase an early deficit. And Steve, this New West Salmon Bellies team, they're going to feel like they have a chip on their shoulder because the game was tied in the dying moments. Dale Toth of Nanaimo scored the game winner with just 1 second left on the game clock. So, I mean, it doesn't even need to be said. This New West Salmon Bellies team is going to come out with a statement. As for this Delta Islanders team, this is their second game of the regular season. They played last Friday, opening their season against the Burnaby Lakers right here at the Ladner Leisure Center. Simon Poole led the charge for Delta with 4 goals. Logan Hinton was also the engine of the offense. He finished with 2 goals and 4 assists. It was a strong start and a strong finish for the Delta Islanders as, they jumped out to a 5-1 lead in the first period and never really looked back.
No, not at all. And, of course, couple of returning players for the Delta Islanders. Who we've got?
Yeah, you know what? The guys that do come to mind for me, I believe it's Keelan McGallis. He's coming back. Riley Neves is back. Bradley Batista is also back. Oliver Hogue is coming back as well. Hayden Flack, Sebastian Miles, Michael Burt, Orlando Kernigan. I believe that's actually his first year. Simon Poole is back as well. Charlie Glover, and I believe Chris Patton was between the pipes last year for the Delta Islanders as well. So lots of familiar faces, lots of new faces for this Junior B1 Islanders team.
I know there's some also changes with the Junior A's. I know the Junior A's are playing tomorrow night. We're unable to do that game just because of prior commitments, but we will be back here on Sunday afternoon for 2 o'clock game for another rematch. This one, they're playing Victoria on Sunday afternoon at 2 o'clock, and you're going to get the luxury of calling that one. I'm going to give the reins over to you.
Steve, I really appreciate you for allowing me and giving me that trust that you have in me, and I'm looking forward to a good game tonight and a good game on Sunday.
Okay, players are getting introduced on the floor, and we will see what happens. And I know Nathan Wilson's going to be and do the traditional opening that he always does, and I think that's really classy. I love the way they do that for the games here in Delta, and I wish more teams would do that. Not all of them do, but they do. So just on a side note, let your friends know about the live streams. All the games in Delta here are live streamed, absolutely free for you and your sporting committee in which you live. And tell your friends, tell your aunts, your uncles, your grandparents, anybody you want. Even tell people you don't like. They might come out and join it. They might enjoy the game too, Jag.
Very much. We want to promote the game. We want to grow the game. That's the end goal.
Bottom line. So we're going to listen in right now as Nathan does his thing. We'll get a shot at Nathan doing his tradition. We'll listen in. Hi everybody, welcome back to the Ladner Leisure Center. Game number 1 for your Delta Islanders Junior B1 game. Steve Erickson, Jag Lawley, Sophie New and the magic work on camera. Our pleasure to welcome you for the call for tonight's game for the Delta Islanders lacrosse for the 2025 season. Going to be an interesting season, Jag, and I know you and I have been looking forward for this for a long time.
Yeah, a very long time, Steve. Feels like yesterday we were ending the last lacrosse season, waiting for hockey to begin, and here we are again. Hockey is now over, and we couldn't wait until we were behind the headset for the Creators game, the game of lacrosse. Once again, it should be a very fun contest. And I know that these teams are also very much looking forward to it.
I know I've reached out to the BC Lacrosse. I'm waiting to get a reply to see, basically not just have them contact me, just to find out if there's any rule changes we should be aware of for the coming season as well. Because, as we know, everybody complains about the officiating, and we want to try and help promote it because there's a real shortage of officials, not just in BC, but across Canada.
Yeah, very quick. We'll look at our starting goaltenders first for the new Salmon Bellies. It's going to be number 1, Nick Blunt. He played in a game, 8 goals against, a .714 save percentage. For the Islanders, it's going to be number 31, Christopher Cadden. A game that he played in, he won. It's 8.0 goals against, now with a .765 save percentage.
So Reed Miles square up at center floor. Reed actually won it, pulled it back in his own half of the floor, throwing it up, out of play. Possession this time is going to go back for the Islanders, and they'll hold on to this as Poole picks it back up. Poole takes his time, lobs it back off of the wall, inside to Hinton. Hinton goes deep over on the far right side, waiting for it. Back to Poole, Hinton's off of the floor. Hinton inside to Poole in front, looks high, shot, shoots, scores! 24 seconds in, the Islanders get the first one on the board.
Well, as you can see, Steve, the Islanders do a great job creating space. Simon Poole adorning the C this year for the Islanders, and for very good reason. The elite playmaking opportunity finds his man down the middle, and the Islanders give their crowd something to cheer about. 24 seconds in, they lead 1-0.
Nice start, and it all was started from Hinton in the back. Now they go back down the other way, inside. Nice play. Smith picks it up. Smith the trailer, gives it back, out going off on a change. Farstad. He works his way inside as Farstad goes in. Tramley comes inside, getting a shot. Shoot, scores! And you talk about rebound. If you can do it, so can we. That's the mindset for the Bellies right there. Evening the game up right there. About 17 seconds later.
Yeah, very quick. I think Lincoln Twomley is going to get credit for that one. He found a shot and he found a spot right at the left side. And Twomley has tied the game at 1. Both teams, Steve, scoring on their first shots on the net.
Talk about a quick start, Jag. That's what we were expecting right from the start. Crooks won the draw, couldn't hold on. Bellies dangle the way back down, and Twanny comes in, takes a shot, out of play. Possession for the Islanders.
Another thing with this sport, Steve, is they have such a long offseason that these guys are looking to get right back at it when their time comes to play.
A lot of these players play multiple sports as well, you know, which keeps them in condition. Of course, the outdoor lacrosse box here in Ladner really helps the game of lacrosse in Delta. They worked their way back inside. Nicholson had it. Nicholson waits, turns, runs a bit of a pick play, taking a huge shot, deflected wide that time, and Burt couldn't get control. Burt is the captain for the team. Miles is one of the alternates, and Flack is the other one. He's another alternate. Bellies, mid-floor. Board back over. Good little bit of a handoff right there to Schnurr. He comes inside, looks, sub-shot. Ferrier takes a shot, grabbed easily and stopped this time. Finally held onto it. Not going to get control of this one. Now they go back up floor the other way with Batista holding onto it. Every time I hear that name, I'm thinking of baseball.
It's hard not to think of Jose Bautista.
I know.
People still talk about that bat flip to this day.
They do so. Haven't seen a lacrosse stick flip, though. Not yet.
Not yet. You might be giving them an idea.
Give them time. Give them time. I'd buy him a coffee if you did that. Working their way inside, going inside as Poole comes in. Diving play, shoot, scores! What a high jump! And we talked about that right off the start, Jack.
And there it is again. Simon Poole, his second goal of the game. He creates space for himself. He baits the goaltender to thinking the ball is elsewhere. Instead, he had it the entire time as Simon Poole beats the goaltender glove side. His second goal on the Islanders' third shot of the game, and they lead 2-1.
Big high jump on that one. That's the thing. They jump, they're out of the crease, and they're allowed to be continued, which is actually a nice rule. I like that rule. Knobs down. Knobs inside, out of the reach of everybody. Couldn't grab it and get control this time. Padden had it. Waits. Out the center floor. Good play on the far side. Van Bursik had it. Nicholson Walks his way in against the wall on the right side. Crooks. Nicholson comes in again. Crooks is in front. Cross pass. Trying to get the sub shot. Couldn't get it. Nice pass on this one right there by Burt. Throws it inside the corner. Takes a funny hop. Goes wide out of the stick this time, and it goes against. Possession for the Bellies as they pick this one back up. Good play to hold on to it. Seganfredo. Matthias Seganfredo. He hustles his way down. There's two. Chases the other one. Chase wears 41. Now they go inside again. Kennedy backpedals towards the wall. Kennedy stays wide. Hogue comes inside. Oliver Hogue stays with him, trying to push him off of the ball this time, and Batista comes inside. Bellies pressing. Continue to press. 3 minutes played so far in the opening period. 5 on the shot clock. Goes wide to the outside. Bellies pick it back up, trying to get the shot away, unable to. Shot clock goes up and out of play. Up in the crowd. The crowd's got to be alert to hold on to it. Despite the fact we've got the netting, if the ball still goes up and bounces off of the roof, be aware of it. Safety first and foremost. And if you come to a game, regardless of where it's played, put your phones away and enjoy the youngsters playing lacrosse. Back over on the far right side again. Far side off of the wall that time as Burt went after it. Burt tried to grab it. Burt's deep, reset, new 30. This one's picked back up again by Peterson. And Peterson throws it straight forward to Reed. Reed's worked off of the ball. Stays with him. Not going to give him any. McAllis was one that forced him wide. Now McAllis going off on a change, as does Reed. Cross in front. Schmurr comes in, takes a shot. That was blocked and stolen again. Patton held on to it. Up to mid-floor again, and Flack has it. Flack, right side. Good crowd ahead to take the game in tonight, Jag, and they're still coming in the front door.
Yeah, very good crowd. It's the start of lacrosse season. The fans are interested. Hopefully a good sign for things to come this summer.
They always pack the place for lacrosse. Back out, holding on to it. Islanders coming inside. Bit of a push play, run the pick. Play carries right on. Now they go wide to the outside wall again, and Watt picks it up. Watt takes it, a one-hopper. Watt, far left side boards, back to Stewartson. He comes inside, pushed off of the ball that time. Staying with him is Seganfredo. Now Seganfredo switch positions. Bellies pressing. Islanders up 2-1 so far. Played about 5 minutes so far in the opening period. Right side, grab it. Kennedy takes his time and comes inside. Kennedy forced wide, goes to the outside again. Twombly comes in. He takes a huge shot right there. That bounces wide to the wall on the far side again, and Twombly picks it back up on a one-hopper. Huge shot off of the back wall that time by Phelan. Couldn't hit the target, a little bit wide. They turn inside the corner. Just rolling it out to center floor. It was grabbed over center floor this time, kept inside by Kennedy. Kennedy pedals his way back inside. Phelan goes over on the far side of the post this time, and Feria comes inside trying to get it. Turning, sidesteps, a nice little bit of a move from there and get away from Lawrence. Huge shot, scores, and the Bellies even the game up. Played 5 minutes and 27 seconds, and we get a tie game at 2, Jag.
Jack Phelan gets the puck at the right, or sorry, not the puck, the ball at the right side of the net. I was waiting for the first time I'd get that mixed up, but it's Jack Phelan. He was going to get the possession for the goal there. Like I said, just great patience, great awareness to place himself at a place on the floor to be able to get a clear shot on net, and that's what he does. It's 2-2.
Tied at 2s. Back around, good play. Smith comes down. Smith goes after it, trying to get control. Pick play around, they come inside. Smith is on the left side. Reed comes inside. Reed goes back to center. Nice to get it back out to the middle of the floor, and Board picks it back up. Board goes in, Reed's off on a change. Board changed his mind, thought he was going to give it free this time and held on to it. Deep himself, continue to go inside. Schmurr comes in. Schmurr, Feria, he comes in. Back to Furb, trying to get it. Huge shot taken, stopped again by Patton as they hold on to it. Now they whack the other way. Flack, left side. Just a little bit of note, if we say some of the names that are not necessarily correct, that's because we are told by the coaching staff that that's what they are saying. And the coaches, sometimes they don't even know how to pronounce them, which is fair. Inside again as Hinton comes in, takes a shot off of the back wall. It's going after again, and Nobbs trying to pick it back up. Shot rolls wide over against the wall, and Plante picks it up, held on to it, kicked it wide, but they're getting the ball back around this time for the Islanders, and they hold on to this one as Burt holds it. Burt works his way inside. Nicholson comes in. Back to Burt, going deep inside the corner. Kernahan comes in. Shot taken that time by McAllis. Shot, big grab on that one by Plante, and he holds on to this one. Plante thought about giving it a long dump out play out to mid-floor, unable to. It was kept inside, going back after McAllis comes in. McAllis waits for it, goes against the boards, waits, dumped back out to center floor, waited for the change as Poole picks it back up. Poole goes wide to the outside. Crooks comes in. Crooks, huge shot, stopped again by Plante, booted this one back out. Off of the wall, a funny hop right there, and Jesse Watt picked it back up and cleared it, not out. Tried to set it back up on the far side, out to Segafredo, but it was behind him. Segafredo cuts the lane off, stays with him, going inside. Huge shot taken by Poole. Bullet of a shot, just exploded out of the webbing of his stick. Turning again. Nice dish pass to set it back up on the far side. Crooks calling for it. Crooks never got control. Crooks still wants to get control. McAllis comes in, shot taken, reset for a new 30 for the Bellies. And they wait for it. Now they give a long high pass. Back out the mid-floor again, grabbed easily by Stewartson. Stewartson takes his time. He lobs it back, and he's going off on a change, a quick change for the young man, as he had a good shift on that one right there. Now they go back, and Kennedy comes inside. Kennedy on the outside, waits, stays with him. King stays with him and forces him wide to the outside as they hold on to it. Still in the corner. Faria comes in. He gets a shot, blocked again, unable to. Now they grab it again, and Patton holds on to it. Out to Sass at center floor. Sass looks. Bit of a dish pass back to Nicholson. Sass goes off on a change. Cutting back behind the net is Burt. Burt being worked over and hounded over like a ragdoll by Segafredo. Cutting inside. Shot taken this time by Hinton off of the post and rolled wide on the far side and rolls all the way back down. Now once they get it set up, Islanders grab it. New 30 on the clock, and it goes back out with Nicholson picking it back up. Nicholson right side wall. Good play to set it back up again as Nicholson held onto it. Throw it back out, and Hinton comes in. Hinton to Crooks, back to Hinton. Far side off of the wall and able to grab. This one was Burt out of his reach. Burt reached it a second time. Now they pick it back up again, and Hinton goes after it and grabs it. Back out to Crooks. Takes a shot. Huge stop of that one once again by Plante. Out to mid-floor, one hopper. Bouncing inside. Hinton right side to Crooks. Crooks waits. Both teams having changes. They go inside again as McAllis comes in. Shot taken, stopped, blocked again. And the Bellies pick it back up. Dish pass out to center floor. In and out of the webbing of the stick that time of Reed. Reed picked it back up after he lost it the first time. Grabbed it on a one hopper. Now they go back down the other way. Good cross floor pass. Twinley comes in. He's waiting for it. Gets control again. Throws it over far side to Board. Board works his way in. Board dishes this one back up. Nice setup by his Board. Gets it back out to Farstad. Farstad got the shot away. Stopped easily and grabbed. Oh, that was an interesting play, Jag. He didn't know where the ball was bouncing at.
Yeah, very much, Steve. And as you can tell earlier on in this contest, the teams are getting used to the shot clock.
Takes a while. Shot. Oh, slow roller. Is it underneath him? Yes, it is. He didn't know. He looked back behind him. Never want to be a goalie, look behind you.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that teams need to be aware of, the shot clock. They have to be aware when to take their shot, and if they get the rebound, get that rebound and know that they have a certain amount of time left on the clock to get another shot away.
It's interesting because the players communicate. If one has the ball, you'll get a player off the center floor that throw it back and tell them how much time. They communicate really well over on the floor on the far side. Hurd comes in, waits. Got a stick on the floor, going back around. The referee will pick it up. Two officials, a young man and a young lady doing the games tonight. As they work their way back inside, as they hustle their way back down, and Nicholson comes inside. Shot taken. Blocked and stopped. It rolls wide to the outside wall. Hinton couldn't get control. Now we have a long stretch back down the mid-floor to Smith. Smith takes a huge shot. Big save on this one by Patton. What a chance for Smith, but boy, oh boy. Was Patton up to the stop to stop that one.
Smith was calling for it as soon as he reached center floor, but great stop there by Patton, point blank.
As they hustle their way back inside again. They wait for it, and again, McAllis holds on to this one. McAllis, center floor, back to Burt. Burt comes inside. Burt runs a pick, stays with Watt. Take it. Call him a block play and a pick play behind it now, and the Bellies will pick this one back up and lob it all the way back out the mid-floor again. Nice play to Segafredo as Segafredo holds on it. McAllis stays with him, works him over like a ragdoll. Segafredo misplayed it. McAllis holds on to it. As he hammered back down to the floor, and play carries right on. Solid hit against the wall. They're trying to pick it back up again. They did. They go back down again, and Hurd comes inside. Hurd goes back. Flack stays with him. Hurd goes behind the net, and Flack's all over him like a wet blanket going inside. Takes a huge shot. Stopped again by Patton. What a nice shot taken right on target that time by Schmurr. Got it free as he jumped all the loose ball. 8:15 left in the opening period. Hustling their way back down the right side again as Miles comes in. Miles cuts wide. Hinton's the trailer. Miles off on a change. Back inside to Hinton. Nicholson goes inside. Hinton looks, backpedals up towards the wall, cuts inside, diving, takes a desperation dive right there. A big save on this one by Plante. Plante kept him to the outside wall. They pick it back up again, pushed off of the wall this time, and going back is Ferreira. He holds on to it, takes his time. There's two of them. There's Josh and Noah. Josh is number 4, and Noah is wearing number 5 for the Bellies. Right side, good jump, good play to grab this one and to read it. Now they go back down again, inside, cutting wide to the outside. Batista comes in, takes a shot off of the back wall. We've seen him do that before last year, Jag.
I keep my eyes on Brad Batista, Steve. I complimented his speed last year. Looks like he hasn't slowed down even a little bit this year.
Not a bit.
I believe he played B2 last year.
We should just call him the Roadrunner. Far side again.
Shout out to the Richmond Roadrunners.
Yeah. Shot taken, blocked, stopped, and held on to it again. And Plante held on to this one.
Well, there might be a tunnel series rivalry there too between the Islanders and the Roadrunners. We never know.
That would be an interesting scenario right there. Back around the other way. Schmurr looks, holds on it. Schmurr gets away from Flack. Over on the far side boards again, and King stays with his man. King couldn't get the ball. Waits, Twaney comes in. Shot, scores, and they get the first lead of the game.
And that's going to be the second goal of the game for Lincoln. Twombly receives a centering pass right up top and makes no mistake beating Patton. And nothing Patton could do but except try his best to react to that. But the first lead of the game now for the New West Salmon Belly, Steve, and they must be really happy. Like I said, coming into this one, they lost with 1 second left to go in their previous matchup, and they're certainly looking like they want this win very badly.
For both names, the Islanders and the Bellies, both synonymous with lacrosse in the Lower Mainland.
For a long time.
Long history for both teams as well. Now they go back wide to the outside, pushed off of the ball. Kernigan stayed with his man. Trying to grab it. They hustle their way back inside. Going deep is Miles. Miles looks, throws it back out the center floor to Hinton. Takes a shot off of the back wall. Reset for a new 30.
Crease violation, I believe it was.
I believe that's what they're going to call. They are. And the Islanders will go to the box. And the Bellies have a power play.
So it is going to be the first penalty of the game. And it's going to go to the Delta Islanders. The referee's saying 2 minutes, and I believe it's going to be for a crease violation, if I'm not mistaken. Steve, heading to the box, Logan Hinton will serve the first penalty, and the Salmon Bellies get to go to work on the power play.
Well, that's not a record you want to start the season with.
Not precisely, but for the Salmon Bellies team, they'll look to get that offense running.
Well, they're up by 1. See what they're going to do in this power play right now. They take their time. They throw it all the way back around. Good play. Schmurr comes inside. Schmurr's trying to feed it back around this time to Twaley. Left side wall, going inside again, and Ferreira goes inside, takes a huge shot, stopped again by Patton as he holds on to it. Twaney waits, trying to get it back free. Farstad holds on it. Farstad, right side, back to Schmurr, going inside, takes a shot, reset, looks, new 30 for the Bellies. They'll pick it back up and lob it back out the center floor. Good play to dangle this one inside, holding on it. Schmurr comes in, takes a huge shot, big stop again by Patton. Kicked it back out with the right leg. Shot deep in the corner, cross pass, shot, another shot right there. Every time they take a shot, they're closing the diamond formation, working inside again. Back out the middle. When he comes in, takes a huge shot, stopped easily, and this one's grabbed again by Patton. He had to reach out and grab onto it and hold onto it.
Steve, the Bellies are looking to run their offense through number 21, Lincoln Twombly. He didn't really score last time out for the Bellies, but he's been having an amazing game so far, 2 goals already.
Well, he would love to get another one. We'll see how it finishes off. Out of play right now, so this is going to be given back around to the Islanders ball with 5:21 left in the opening period. They find themselves trailing 3-2, only by 1. Lots and lots of time left. Back out the center again. Crooks. Crooks goes inside. Behind the net is Burt. Crooks goes wide inside. Looks, thought about taking the shot. Changed his mind. Burt's deep inside the corner. McGallis is way over on the right side wall, right against the wall. Now he pushes off and goes back out the center floor and gets control on the cross pass. McGallis, as he holds onto it. Waits, turning, Going deep and going wide. See if they get the shot away. They did. They got the shot away, and Bird ended up getting a shot away on a real nice cross pass set up to him. They come inside again. Smith back around over the far side again up to Schmurr. Schmurr comes in, waits, holding on to this one, and going after him is going to be Twanley. Twanley comes in deep against the wall as Ferreira. Look, huge shot, missed the net by 1.5 feet this time. Now they roll it back around out to center floor. Will they get on a one-hopper? Indeed they do, and Miles comes inside. Miles going in. Sass is out there. Sass couldn't get control. Going inside again is Segafredo. And Segafredo picks it back up for the bellies and throws it straight, cross pass. Now we have a block play on the far side. Bit of a pick play right there, deep in the bellies corner, indicated by the referee. So Sass has it back out to the mid-floor again.
The Islanders do a great job killing off the first penalty of the game, Steve, and it stays a 3-2 game.
That's what they were hoping for. You just know Nathan Wilson and crew have them working on that play right there whenever they have their practices, as do other teams, but more so for the Islanders. Now they come back in again. Sets it back up far side. What are they going to do? Getting a shot away. Nice shot by Poole. Gets it shot. Grabs it. Another pick on the block right there. So this is going to be going for the Islanders ball. They're going to be taking it over against the wall over on the far side with Poole picking it back up. Whistles in. Poole back to Nicholson. Nicholson comes inside. 3:40 left in the opening period. Nicholson works his way inside, going in. McGallis works his way in the corner. As McGallis holds on to it. Back out again to Nicholson. Nicholson goes deep, presses. Inside, low sub shot taken that time by Kernahan. Misplayed it. Got it shot, but he narrowly missed the outside post, and they have a long pass out. McGallis jumps, grabs it. That young man's on stilts, going back inside.
Great interception there. Great IQ there by Keenan McGallis. Makes the interception.
Big grab. You can tell the talent level of the players of both teams out here on the floor right now. They've had a good season, a good training camp, and as I mentioned, there's a lot of players that play in this that play various sports as well. Now they go back, block play ran. This one's going to be going for the bellies, and the bellies will pick it back up and hold on to it. Center floor again. Good play out to Smith. Smith goes down, goes wide to the outside wall, and Smith continued to press back in with Batista all over him. Smith thrown in, takes a shot, missed it. Up, actually through the rafters, so the Islanders picked the ball up with 2:50 left in the opening period. 16 shots for the bellies and 17 for the Islanders. They're still working on more. King comes inside. King back to Nicholson. Nicholson holds onto it in the corner. Trying to get it back and center it back out, unable to this time, and it goes back the other way again off of the wall. Nicholson works his way back inside, also inside. Besides Nicholson going in. Cook's in there. He failed to grab this one. Now it goes back the other way. Sub shot taken. Big save of that one once again. And Plant is being worked over like a ragdoll jag.
Yeah, Nick Plant, like I said, he's won a game this season. He's looking to make it 2 wins. Great save.
Now they go back the other way again. Turning. Crooks goes off on a change for Delta. And also off on a change was Watt for the bellies. Right side. They hustle their way back inside the corner again. Board comes inside. Board takes it, throws it in front. Sub shot taken right there by Farstad, and he puts it a one-hopper right between the legs, and that puts him up right now by 2.
And again, Graham Farstad receives a great pass right at the left side, Steven. That's what you call excellent communication between teammates. They knew where Farstad was going to be. They sent the ball right to him, and he snaps one past Chris Patton. And the Salmon Bellies, they double up on their lead, now leading by 2 goals. It's 4-2.
Go back out to mid-floor again. Miles looks, referees watching a couple players way back inside the bellies half of the floor right there. Miles throws it straight forward. He expected Poole to come in. Now Poole's going to get a penalty. And the goaltender for the bellies is out for the extra attacker. Was back down the far side. Twanley comes inside. A one-hopper back to mid-floor again out to Feria. He hustles his way back. No rush on the play right now. They got them all set up. Goaltender's out 6 on 5. See what the bellies magically can work right now. Shot taken, blocked, no possession. Shot taken, shoot, big grab of this one. Funny hop, now it goes back, called him for the crease, so now we're going to have a penalty. And it's going to be a slashing minor. And going to the penalty box, a little bit of an obvious penalty call too, Jack.
Yes, very much. So it won't actually be against Simon Poole. Steve heading to the box. It's going to be number 8, Logan Hinton. He's heading to the penalty box for the 2nd time this game. it's going to be a slashing call, and that's what I call a non-team friendly penalty, Steve. I think it was pretty point blank, pretty obvious when he took that call. It was more so of a frustration tap by Hinton, and the Islanders, they killed off the first penalty. They'll look to do the same on this
But this one's a 5.
Oh,
That's
wow.
a huge slash.
I didn't even notice.
Back in again. They hustle away inside. Schmurr comes in, trying to feed it back around. He did. He got it back out to Twanley. Twanley cuts inside again. Twanley holds onto it. Schmurr goes wide to the outside. Twanley gets this one back. Looks. Feria comes inside. Twanley, far right side again. Feria takes a shot, deflected. Everybody was looking for that one, and nobody had a clue where it was. A strong one-hopper all the way down the floor, and Flack's going to chase it back in. But 45 seconds left in the opening period. Bellies on a power play. Lots of time left to see what they can work some magic. That goes back down inside the corner. Phelan goes in. Phelan is deep over on the right side of the post. So as Phelan goes deep inside, Twanley is in there. Twanley looks not to get control that way, and it goes back out to Schmurr inside. Phelan picks this one back up. Phelan trying to throw it back out to Farstad. Farstad throws it back behind the goal. Out the center floor again. Schmurr comes in. Takes a huge shot right there. Big stop on that one by Patton. And he holds on to it with a dozen seconds left in the opening period. Back into Flack. Flack comes in 1-on-1 going inside. Looks, takes a huge shot. Big save on this one by Plante. What a chance on that one. And Plante just dishes it all the way back down. Took a funny hop on a block. And period 1 comes to a conclusion as Hinton's got another 4 minutes and 43 seconds left in the major penalty. And the Islanders go to the dressing room, as do the Bellies, but the Bellies are up, jagged by a 2.
Wow, I mean, what a way to end the period there, too, Steve. An excellent save there by Nick Plante, who makes the save right up on top. And with that, we're going to head to the intermission. I think if you're the new West Salmon Bellies, you're very happy with the way that we're heading into the break here, just because you get a 5-minute power play. I definitely want to get your opinion on this, Steve, because it looked like a pretty routine slash. I mean, I wonder why they assessed as a 5-minute call.
The only thing I can guess is there's obviously rule changes that you and I have not been familiar with.
Yeah, very much. I think, like you said, that's the only thing that can be said. But, if I was to have a key heading into the second period for the Delta Islanders, I feel like the Islanders, they need to focus on their transition game, moving the ball quickly up the floor from defense to offense. They got the players to do so. They have the speed. They have the skill to create those opportunities off the fast breaks. They got to do a better job at limiting the Salmon Bellies transition chances, because this Salmon Bellies team, as soon as they have gotten, as soon as they've gotten a man out front, they have sent the ball right to him. And with that, they've gotten the transition opportunities. So if I was to have a key for the Delta Islanders for the second period, it would be that.
Well, quick start for both teams. Very pleased to be joined by Matt Hogue, president for your Delta Islanders. Matt, first off, thanks for this. What a good start for the game.
Yeah, the first 30 seconds I was pretty happy with. Scored on the first rush, looked really good. I thought Patton played well in goal, but our offense stalled a little bit in the second half there. So
Okay, let's talk about changes in the offseason.
yes. Well, honestly, as far as coaching staff and stuff goes, we returned everybody. So that was great. Not a lot of changes there, but really happy with our draft. I think you're seeing a couple of the young guys here today. Hinton, Crooks, and then on our other team, Sampson as well. So some of our young guys coming to the lineup right away, which is great, and brings some excitement.
Well, Matt, first off, I can't say how excited I am to be behind the headset for the Delta Islanders again this season. It was a privilege getting to, learn the sport of lacrosse last year. It was my first year calling lacrosse last year.
I had no idea.
Yeah, it was my first year calling it.
Sure you did.
It was my first year calling it last year, and now having learned the game, having called it for a year, I'm really excited. So, first off, I can't be much happier that we get to come back and call these games. But overall, I wanted to ask you, running a Junior A, B1, B2 program again, how are you feeling about each individual team and their chances into this year? Let's talk about this B1 team, because they were 40 seconds away from beating the Coquitlam Adanacs and moving on to the next round last year. How excited are you for this season to see if they can elevate to that next level?
Yeah, very much so. I will say, I've had the luck of watching the JB1 team every single year, almost every single game, because my oldest, Cody, started when the JB1 program started in 2018. He was on that team. My middle son, Adam, played on it for a few years, and now Oliver's there now. So we've had a Hogue on this team forever, so I've seen a lot of their games. And what's changed, what's been really interesting, is we've gotten younger and younger and younger every single year, which is really good. Because what that means is that we're getting our top young players in at that level, preparing to go to A. So that's what I get excited about when I see them. I don't know how we're going to do in the standings. We're going to be competitive. We always are. Our JV1 has been competitive every single season that I've been here. But what's exciting for me is the youth, the young players. Last year we saw it with Jet Burns, Elijah Gill, and those are guys that are going to be moving up to A this year. So that's really what we want to do with B1 is get young players in, get them ready to play junior A lacrosse.
And then you want to get players in B2 move up to B1.
Absolutely, and we did that. Oliver, my son, was an example, and a few others. Nathan Smith, Carter Mack. These are guys that played B1 last year. Charlie Glover. Brad Batista.
Yeah.
There's another one. So there's lots of guys that from B2 that are moving up, and it happened the year before as well. It didn't used to be the case. Guys used to play a lot of B2 for 5 straight years, and now we're seeing guys graduating from step to step, putting in their time at that lower level, and they work on a certain thing, and then ready to rock at the next level the next year.
I know Steve kind of alluded to it earlier on, how the off-season was and whatnot, but, necessarily the months after the season ended, the winter months from September to December, what were those months like in, helping you kind of assess what happened last season and prepare for this season?
Well, like I said, because we didn't have many changes, things were actually very smooth. Very, very smooth. So we had our systems in place for the draft. We had our AGM going. We had our Christmas event. Like everything was pretty smooth, and our board returned as well. Right. So from top to bottom, we felt very aligned and systematic about things. We have a process. So to me, like even today when I showed up, I was running a little late. Traffic was a little rough. And about 15, 20 minutes before the game, I was sitting in the penalty box looking at my phone, and I thought, in years past, there's no way I would have been. So getting those things right in September, October, November, December means a smoother January, February, March, and into the season. And so for me, that's what's been most exciting, is things are just going smoothly and well.
Let's talk about the draft. How did that go? Were you happy with the outcome of the draft?
Yeah, we had a lot of top picks. We had picks, like I said, at the top, and I mentioned a couple of them already, Crooks, Hinton, and Sampson. And we also picked up Darius King, Shea Watson. We signed Owen Van Buskirk the next day. I'm missing a couple others, but we added 6 or 8 players to Nathan Bonner was another one. Levi Burns was another. I think I got them all now. But anyways, we added a ton of young talent, which is what we try to do in the draft, especially in years where didn't make the playoffs. At the end of the season, you got to find a way to turn some of your top players into draft picks, and we did that again last year. Logan did a great job, and so at the draft, we took a bunch of young guys that are going to be contributing at the B1 level this year, even some at the A level this year, and then beyond. So I was really happy with it.
Well, you talk about the A's. They play a preseason game tomorrow. It'll be right here at the Ladner Leisure Center. Also tomorrow is Lacrosse Fest, and that's an initiative that the Islanders are very heavily participating in.
Yep.
Tell us about Lacrosse Fest.
Yeah, so Lacrosse Fest has been going on for I think 3 years now, maybe 4, and they do a fantastic event outside in the covered box. They do prize draws and games and events. They have a dunk tank. Logan's going to the dunk tank. Our assistant general manager, John Phillips, going to the dunk tank. I think Nathan's going to the dunk tank.
Wow.
They didn't get me, thank goodness. But a ton of events and fun stuff outside, hardest shot competition, tons of prizes to be won. And then we joined up with them by having we scheduled an A game tomorrow night, 7 p.m. We're going to do our own little raffle as well, free raffle for the parents of Delta Minor to get in. We're going to give away some Northlands gloves, a new hat from Loading Lacrosse, t-shirt, and a sweatshirt. So we're going to do a little draw. And we're offering our parent passes. We're doing a parent pass this year to Delta Minor parents. They get 3 games for the price of 2. So we'll be here selling those tomorrow night. We'll be over here somewhere. Are you guys here tomorrow night? No,
sir. Nope.
Just
I thought you got my email.
Steve, a lot going on at this time of year. You know what? I'm so appreciative of you guys. It feels, like I said, it feels like we've got a process going in so many ways, and things that are just working, and you guys are a huge part of that. So I always just want to say thank you.
We enjoy it. Is it fair to say that the Warriors are a big part of the growth for lacrosse?
Yes. I mean, they've been doing fantastic.
Except tonight.
Well, I didn't see. Are they
lost.
losing?
9-3 final.
No. Okay.
Well, it's recorded. Don't tell them.
Yeah. Our president of Minor, Jason Thorne, it works for them.
Yep.
So there's a huge connection there with Delta Lacrosse and the Warriors. And the fact that they've done so well this year has built a lot of excitement as well. So I'm really happy for that club, even if they didn't win tonight.
Fair to say they're doing really well because of Del Bianco.
that was a great trade, wasn't it?
I was shocked.
Yeah. I mean, everyone you talk to says that he's a great guy. Logan knows him really well, obviously, and says that he's a great guy, great player, and you can see how he immediately raised the level of that team right away.
Well, not really a question from me, Matt, but I just wanted to say again, I know you really do appreciate us for all we do, but we gotta say we appreciate you for allowing us to come in and help tell the stories of all of these athletes out on the floor. We're looking forward to a great summer of calling lacrosse.
I appreciate that, and you guys call me over anytime you want. You know I'm here to chat and chat and chat. Lots of good things coming. We got our Thomas Hayden game coming, our Indigenous Peoples Day, plus Lax Fest tomorrow. So you guys will be a huge part of all this season, and thank you. Really,
the only one we're going to miss is the game tomorrow, which is prior commitments for us.
Well, it's all right. It's preseason. It's not like this. This is for keeps now. So we'll see you guys for A and soon for B2 as well.
All right, very much. Matt, thank you for your time.
Thank
all the
you.
best. Say hi to your lovely wife. She's the only one that's not on the lacrosse roster.
Yeah, she's over there waiting for my return, mad about something, I think.
Oh, buy her something. Buy her coffee. All right. Good words from Matt Hogan, of course, president. Good words, Jag, and you can't go wrong with that because he talked about the growth for the program, right?
Yeah, very much.
Which is really nice. He talked about the growth for the program, which is super, super exciting, which is what I want.
Of course, and, a huge shout out to, once again, Sophie doing all the magic work behind camera. We didn't get to work with Sophie as much this year, Steve, but it's nice to have the crew back together for old time's sake.
It is indeed. It is most certainly indeed. And again, welcome to our broadcast. I know the link that's up on the Islanders website is wrong right now, so they'll make that one corrected. I'm going to talk to Matt after the game about all that stuff as well. So period 2 underway. Bellies on a power play for another 3.5. As they dangle it back down the right side, they come inside as holding onto his Board. Board takes his time. Board center floor. Good cross pass as Board got it back out to Farstad. Farstad gets it again. Farstad, Schmur. Farstad going after it, unable to get control. A one-way hopper right there, and Twanny goes after it. Back out to Farstad. Back inside to Schmur. Schmur takes a shot off of the back wall. One hopper high and wide to the outside that time. It was grabbed by Twanny. Takes a huge shot out of play, and they're going to leave this one back. They're saying possession this time is going to go for the Bellies. Islanders question that one.
Bellies still on a power play for 3 minutes and 2 seconds.
Yeah, they questioned that change of possession. They actually thought that the Islanders were going to have a huge shot off of the back wall. Going after this one, trying to grab it again is Patton. Patton looks over his left shoulder, then turns, just watches it patiently, know where it's going to end up. And they go back around the other way. Inside, back to Flack. Flack deep inside the corner as Flack comes wide to the outside. Flack hustles his way inside, trying to get it. Still holding on to it, 12 on the shot clock. They're killing seconds off of the penalty time right now, which is an exceptional move to do. Flack going inside, diving, waits, picking it back up, and they'll leave it.
Shot clock, violation.
So they grab it, they reset it for a new 30. Coaching staff of the Bellies were hollering that the clock didn't start on time, but the referee, young lady back at center floor, had it. She knew exactly what was going on.
I thought there was a violation perhaps, but guess not.
Back inside. You can ask Matt about that one later, or Logan, one or the other. Poole comes in. Poole is the trailer way on the outside this time, and Smith trying to guard Poole off of the ball. Cutting inside. McGallis takes a huge shot. Big grab this one, and Plante holds on it, and Plante lob pass back out to mid-floor again. Good play out to Farstad. And Farstad goes down the right side. Good play to hustle his way back inside. Looks, sets it back out to mid-floor. Farstad to Schmur. Schmur comes in. Schmur goes wide to the outside. It's grabbed again, this time by Twanley. And Twanley goes back after. Cutting inside again, going after his Farstad. Takes a huge shot. Farstad jumps up, grabs it. Now he gets it back again. Cross setup pass. Back out to mid-floor. Back pass over the shoulder by Twanley. Takes it, grabs. Islanders trying to get control. Failed to know where it ended up going. That was a bit of a confused play, and King couldn't get control for the Islanders. They wait for it. Still deep inside. Board comes in. Shot, scores! And that will be a power play goal with 1:09 left, and 2 goals eliminates the major penalty.
And I believe, Steve, that goal is going to be credited to Noah Faria. He's leading the team so far with goals. He had 6 goals in the first 2 games played, and now adds a 7th on, and like you said, we're going to have a penalty coming up here, and I think this is going to go against the Delta Islanders. I think Charlie Glover's heading to the box.
He is, I'm not sure. No, but Hinton's in the box. So Hinton
perhaps Hinton was in. He didn't return to the box upon the start of the second period, so maybe that's why they have him there.
Well, there's a minute 9 still on the clock. So we'll see where they started. So, and they're still playing 4. So they wait as the Bellies press inside. The Bellies looking at it, trying to go up by another one. 4-2 on the clock. I think it's a 5-2 game. Back on the right side boards again. Turning, going deep inside the corner is Farstad. They set this one back up and go wide to the outside, and they hustle their way back down as Flack goes out. Flack sets it back up. Miles grabs it, a one-hopper. Miles holds on to it, sets it in the webbing of his stick. Miles goes wide, now really wide to the outside, and staying with him is Farah. Farah holds onto it, just walks him back out to center, and Miles now goes off on a change. Carefully played in the change box. Now they can go off, gets fresh legs on. 19 seconds left in the power play for the Bellies, and they get it back out to center floor. 5-2, Bellies up. Still deep over on the left side, and Schmur walks his way in. Schmur goes in, far side again, back around to Farstad, trying to get the shot away. Takes a funny hop out of play that time, and Twally picks it back up. Reset for a new 30 for the Bellies.
I'm really liking the defense of the Bellies so far, Steve.
Playing tough. Hinton's out the box. He's back out. He's way deep. Back down the floor, and they pick this one back up. A long pass. Trying to get it back inside to Hinton. King is in. Hinton touches and scores! The major penalty paid dividends. And that pulls them within 2.
Well, ain't that one way to make up for a 5-minute penalty? Hey, Steve, Logan Hinton took the 5-minute major, responds in a big way. As soon as he exits the penalty box, he goes all the way down to the other end of the floor, and off of a beautiful pass, cuts right to the net with the defensive pressure on him, and Hinton has cut the deficit to 2 for the Islanders.
I think that was a bit of a communication breakdown. I don't think the Bellies knew he was out of the box.
Very much. They did not expect him to be out of the box and flying that way either. Great goal by Hinton.
Oh, Hinton just flew out of the box and got behind everybody. Now they come inside. Good play going deep inside the corner. Kernahan goes in. They score again. And they pull within 1.
It's Simon Poole. Last game he had 4 goals and assists, 5 points, and gets on the scoreboard here once again for the Delta Islanders. And Simon Poole, Steve, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe that might be a hat-trick goal for him, as Poole, once again, you get 1 goal, it's like a momentum booster. You get another right after. Hinton with the 5-3 goal, and now Poole with the 5-4 goal. The Islanders are really back in this one.
They are back. Interesting to see what the coaching staff were talking to him between periods about. Now Poole's inside. Poole rips a shot. Scrambly play. Trying to get it control. They hold on to it. And Plante had to take a double take to see where the ball ended up. Now they keep it inside again. Back around again. Poole shoots. Stopped again by Plante. Rolls wide over the left side corner. Heavy check zone. Plante continue to press back inside. Solid play. Hogue stays with his man. Right side wall, they have it deep inside the corner again. Fighting their way back down is McGallis. McGallis couldn't get control. Reach for it, just out of his reach. Only because the shot was too high for him. Just a little guy.
The building's buzzing again, Steve. The crowd is really back into this one.
And a good crowd, we should make mention as well, on a Friday night here in Ladner. Right side again. They come back inside, center it back, try to get the shot away, unable to hold on to it this time. And they go against the wall on the far side as Miles stays with his man. It's picked back up on the far side again by Neves.
And again, just a bit of a communication breakdown there by the Bellies. They're not identifying when the shot clock was set to expire.
No, just a little bit of a breakdown on the communication aspect right there, as you were making mention, Jack. Out to center floor again. Good play to hold on this one. Nicholson throws it deep inside the corner. Back out to center floor to Crooks. Crooks goes wide. Nicholson still out there. Burt's wide to the outside. Burt goes wide to the boards. They're trying to feed the ball back to him, but he was double team. They weren't going to get him free on that one right there. And Glover works his way in trying to grab it. Grabbed by Plante. Plante center floor. Good jump play on this one by Smith to get control. And Smith holds on it. Now he throws it over the far left side wall. Back out to center floor again. Good play to get it back out to mid floor. Segafredo held onto it. Segafredo mid to Phelan. Phelan backs out towards the wall on the right side. Phelan sets this one back up. Phelan to 20. 20 comes in, reaches, goes in, takes a huge shot, narrowly missed the bottom part of the right post, and it rolls back to center floor. Good reach to keep it inside and over center floor this time by Farstad. Grabbed by the Islanders. Islanders, Sass. Looks, rolls back. What are they going to do with it? Not really sure on that one, but they finally figured it back out. Pushed off it. Everybody wants a penalty except the referee. Now they call him for the back over, so possession of this one's going to go for the Bellies. Bellies hold on to it. Good play to get it back out the mid-floor. Feria comes inside. Feria throws it. He's off on a change on the far side. Board comes down the right side boards. Board comes inside. Now they go back wide to the outside. Who's going to get it as Hurd's off on the right side post. Hurd's trying to grab it. Feria comes inside. Takes it a one-hopper. Far right side again, and Hurd goes in trying to get the shot away. This is grabbed easily by Patton. Good fast tempo, Jag.
A very fast tempo here, Steve. And another thing about the sport of lacrosse is they don't have to wait a million years like basketball to inbound the ball. The referees blow the whistles quick, and the teams are quick in transition.
Well, they have to be. Just the way the sport evolves right there. Holding on this one is Crooks. Crooks walks his way in. Crooks deep in the corner. Poole is calling for it. Poole goes wide to the outside. Poole this time gets away from Pedersen this time, and it's grabbed by the Bellies, and the Bellies get out to center floor again as Segafredo holds on to it. Segafredo spins like a top. Good play as Poole stayed with him. Now they come inside the right side corner again, and Board goes deep. Board trying to center it back out. Got it back in front. This is grabbed again by Patton, and Patton held on to it. Shot quickly was taken by Phelan, but he couldn't put it past Patton.
Another great stop there by Patton.
Out the center with King. King inside, looks. King's out in front. Back pass over the shoulder. Couldn't put it on target. What a chance and a setup he had in that one. Segafredo takes him against the wall. Reset, new 30. Bellies going back around. McGallis was held onto. Blocked. Now they go back down the far side again, and Watt comes inside. Watt to Reed. Two of them after the pass went off on a change, and it goes back the other way again, and Farstad goes wide to the outside. Farstad cuts deep on the right side corner. Trying to grab it, back by Feria, back out to Farstad. Farstad throws it back in front. Huge shot taken by Kennedy, and he puts it back in and buries it behind Patton. A nice three-way passing play, Jag.
Jack Kennedy took the shot. He was confident in his ability to shoot the ball. Christopher Patton was left looking back, and Steve, you know, when I first met you, you always told me no matter what sport it is, when the goalie's looking back, it's never a good sign. Patton was left looking back there, and I believe Miles is looking for an explanation here from the referee. He may have thought that something did not go, but nonetheless, Jack Kennedy gets on the board for the Salmon Bellies, and they restore a 2-goal lead.
Get a text from Blake Middle, and Blake says the offense need to move more. Defense is fine as long as they stay out of the penalty box. Thanks, Blake.
Well, that tells us he's tuned in, so that's good.
That's true, though. That's very true. Back again. I think Blake's doing announcing for the Islanders for the Junior A this year on Saturdays. I know he'll send me a note and let me know whether he is. I'm pretty sure he is. Back around again. Looks nice play off of the wall. They continue to press back inside, going after it. Kernahan comes in, couldn't get the shot. It was blocked and rolled out of his stick, and it goes back the other way with McGallis picking it back up. McGallis off of the wall, trying to set it back up the middle part of the floor to Glover. Glover's in front, grabbed easily by Plante, and Plante just gives a bit of a dish lob pass back up on the left side wall, back inside. Back to Stewartson, and Stewartson right side this time. Gets it up to Peterson. And now they go back the other way again. Islanders hold on to it. Do we have a penalty?
Yes, I think we do have a penalty. I'm trying to figure out what it's for, but
I think it's a delay of game, or actually an illegal change.
I think that's what it's going to be. It's going to be a legal change.
We'll wait for the announcement, if we can hear it and listen to it.
So it's Ryan Peterson who's heading to the box, Steve, for 2 minutes, and the Islanders get their first power play of the game. There we are. We are correct.
Yes, Blake said yes. So we'll go with what he says.
Well, I think he's saying we're correct to him announcing Junior A this year.
Oh, good.
The PA announcing that.
See, you were paying attention.
Very
back
much.
to Bert. Bert far side. Bert back inside. Nice play to get it back around this time to Kernahan. Kernahan calling for it. Shot taken by Bert. A big, huge rebound. But what a chance by Bert to get that one.
Steve,
called him for the back end.
We were correct on the penalty call as well. It is 2 minutes for delay of game.
Referee having a bit of a chat with the goaltender. I like the communication. I've never been one to digress and complain about the communication with referees and players in general. Far side, they're still working their way inside. Kernahan comes in, shot, waits, got it right on, and again stopped by Plante. Plante just gives this one free over on the far right side again, and Smith takes control. Smith up the center floor, gets away from Poole. Smith goes inside. He actually sidestepped his own man to get free. Smith turning, getting away on the far side that time out by Hode. Hode went after him. Looks, picking it back up. Hode couldn't get it a second time this time. It was picked back up by Board. They come inside. Huge shot taken. Stopped again by Patton. And Patton had to be alert and agile to stop this one. Now goes back out to Burt at center floor on the left side. Islanders find themselves trailing by 2, 6-4 in favor of the Bellies. 10 minutes left in the middle period right now, and of course they are on a power play for another 50 seconds. Back to Crooks. Crooks far side to Burt. Back to Crooks. Crooks to Burt. Shot taken. Huge shot going after the rebound. Trying to get control is Kernahan. Scrambly play, and the Islanders pick it back up on a rebound. New 30. Crooks gets it. Give and go. Crooks, good cross pass. Burt's wide over on the outside left. Gets it. Rips a huge shot. Stopped again by Plante. Funny scramble. Plante looked over his shoulder. Wasn't sure where it was. Worked off of the ball. Now they go back down the other way, and Furia comes inside again. Furia looks, holds on to it. Belly's having a change. 2 off, 2 on. They hold on this one again. Schmurr comes in. Schmurr sets it back up, gives it all the way back out to Segafredo. Segafredo's had enough. He's off on a change. Quick change. They go back around, dishing it back out to center to Phelan. Phelan comes inside. Phelan trying to get it back around out the board. Did get the shot, but he was called for crease violation this time. Now we're going to have it. I think we're going to have a half-period timeout called by the referees, and they're allowing the goaltenders to go over and replenish themselves, getting a drink of water. And of course, lots of great lacrosse action coming up this year, all free, courtesy of SportsWave. And Matt Hogue, I know the link on the Delta Islanders Junior A website is wrong right now, but he'll get that corrected because I'll make a point of telling him that, and I know he will anyway. But it's so nice, Jag. We've been longing for this day for a long time.
Yeah, and Steve, today is the start of something special, and like you said, unfortunately, we're going to miss out on the Junior A game tomorrow, but there aren't going to be many games that we miss out on this season because we just love being here at the box. We love being here at the Liner Leisure Center, getting to call lacrosse. You said it. We're going to be doing Junior A, B1, and B2, and, perhaps some Ladner Pioneers as well.
And we're going to, the delay was obviously not just for the goaltenders, but also there's, I guess, water on the floor.
Spillage?
Either water, well, I don't know where the spillage would have come from because there's no water bottle. Maybe just perspiration from the players. And of course, when you run fast, I honestly know this because when you run, and when I was doing lacrosse as a referee, when you run, man, oh man, it's like a weight loss clinic with Jenny Craig. You walk and you just sweat perspiration, and you fall on the floor, you slide, and the water gets in the floor.
And, you mentioned this last year as well. The goaltenders do get breaks sometimes to allow themselves to cool down because sometimes getting too sweaty is not a good thing.
No, especially in the latter months, and you get June and July with all the hot weather. Back over on the far side again. They're trying to grab it. They do. They go inside. Huge shot taken this time by Poole. Stopped again by Plante, but it takes a big hop and goes out to center floor, and Poole picks it back up again. As Poole holds on to it, Hinton's wide. Hinton trying to get control out of his reach. Now they go back down the floor the other way and pick up some speed, and Pedersen comes in. Poole's all over him. Pedersen goes wide. Slipped a little bit, almost fell down. Taking a huge shot right there off of the arm that time of Padden, but what a nice setup by Watt to get it free. Center floor again. Farstad. Farstad goes wide to the outside. You can see them directing traffic from the back end, telling everybody where to go. Now they come inside again. Kennedy. Kennedy comes in. Kennedy got it back free over to Schmurr. Schmurr comes in. Kennedy goes after it and also chasing after this one, trying to get it as Hurd. And it was out of his reach. Now they go back out to Flack at center floor, and Flack comes back down. Flack, left side wall, cutting inside again. King goes in, takes a shot, calling for the crease. No goal. Crease violation. It's a big crease, so it's tough to miss, Jag.
Very much. I mean, that would have been a great goal there for the Delta Islanders and Darius King, but crease violation is a crease violation. Good call by the ref.
Yeah, ref's all over that one like a wet blanket. Now they go back inside again, try to grab it. A Board comes inside. Board giving it back free over on the far side, and Schmurr comes inside. Schmurr, right side to Board. Board goes in, takes the shot, push shot, scores! And Board somehow got that one past Padden on across a low pass that was almost like a sub shot, Jag.
Yeah, very much. And Cooper Board will get credit for that one. As you said, Steve Padden really wasn't expecting it because Board went one direction. He first went one direction and then chose to shoot the ball the other. And for the New West Salmon Bellies, they're executing to their game plan. They are making their quality chances count despite being down on the shot total by 2. They lead 7-4. Now we have a couple of words being exchanged here to the right side of our broadcast.
They were trading tails on the floor. And I think the referee says, no, it was trapped by the Bellies. So possession this time. Shot. Miles got the shot, but the referee said, oh, no, you're not going to do that. I wasn't ready, so we're going to start back out at center floor again. And that's a good call because he wasn't.
Well, very much. I mean, I said it. The referees are often very fast with the whistles. It's not like basketball where it takes 1 million years to inbound the ball and wait for the referee's discretion.
Very much. Poole is a trailer. Poole's a trailer. Crooks is in there. Huge shot by McAllis. Big stop again by Plante. Out to center floor on a nice long play. Pedersen's going wide, thought about getting control out of his reach, and that goes back the other way again, and Reed hustles his way in. Reed looks, pushes his way off of the ball this time. Now Reed just lobs this one back inside to Farstad, and Farstad turns, goes back out again. King stays with him. King goes back, covers his man in front. King stays with Hurd so he doesn't get himself free to get the ball. Now they go back inside again. Big shot taken by Schmerz. Takes a shot, rolls all the way back out to center. Back pass shot taken this, and possession. The 30 was going down. So possession for the Islanders, and they go all the way back down to Hogue. Hogue's on the left side wall. He takes his time. The trailer, 6:45 left in the middle period now. 7-4 for the Bellies. Of course, let's not forget the Bellies play at Queen's Park on the nice little wooden floor back there. That's nice to referee on because you get a bit of a bounce and it doesn't hurt your knees. Shot, that's out to center floor on the scrambly play. They're going to grab it back again. Burt, he's pushed over heavily in front of the penalty box area. Burt stays with it. Burt held onto it. They're giving possession this time back around for the Bellies, and they'll hold on to it. And Faria holds on it. Faria got it free over the far side this time, back to Twanley. Twanley comes inside. Shot taken, stopped again by Patton. Back to Flack on a long pass, waits. Flack turns, goes in. Sub shot, trying to get it back through the 5-hole. Couldn't put it back through. Unable to, and they pick it back up again. Flack stays with his man. Reed, center floor. Reed hustles his way back in. Then dishes it back off. Good setup play by Reed. Back out to Twanley. Twanley comes inside. Board goes in. Board is wide open, calling for it. Board hustles his way in. He's over on the right side of the post. They give it back to him. Looks a low pass right there. Reach to the floor to pick it back up and holds on to it. Now he gets it back on the far side again. Back out to Ferreira. He holds on it. He's worked off of the ball easily this time by Physis. I think that's the first time we've seen him on the floor.
Yeah, it's going to be a shot clock violation, Steve, but I talked about the Bellies defense. That last chance second, Fredo does a great job ensuring that the Islanders don't have a clear-cut chance of the net. He sort of bumps off the player and keeps it a 7-4 game.
He still gets it 7-4 right now. Shot going inside. McGallis takes a huge shot. Rolls out the center floor. They're going to jump and get control. Poole carefully played. Coaching staff of the Bellies thought it was back over center floor, but the referee was right beside it and said no. Back down as the Bellies hustle away inside. They continue to press. Smith comes in. Smith is a trailer. Shot, reset. And the Bellies pick it back up through 30. Bellies hold on to it. King stays with his man. Forced them wide to the outside. Sass is out there. Sass stays with his man. Huge shot taken. Stop. Patton got the better part of that one. And it rolls wide on the left side wall again as they're going to grab it and pick it back up again. Good pressure thrown by Twanley. Twanley comes in, trying to get it out to mid-floor again as they do. Back out to Farstad. Farstad waiting for it. Diving desperation play right there. They call him for the crease. And the referee said, nope, you're in the crease. I saw you. And the goalie's allowed there, and you are not. So now we're going to have a pair of penalties. Referee says, I've had enough of that. It's like dealing with an ex-wife. You're not going to put up with a two-lop.
Well, it was only time before, these two got sent to the box. And, like I said, it was only time. So both are going to be given a penalty here. I think they're going to be coinciding penalties.
Coincidental roughing.
So coincidental penalties for roughing very much. Both of them are going to get roughing penalties. It's going to stay 5-on-5. And we'll wait for the indication to be put up here on the clock.
No, they won't.
Oh, they won't, I guess. But nonetheless, those two sent to the box.
So they go back around. Coincidental minors. In together, out together after a whistle. Low shot scored again, and the Bellies. Farstad gets another one on the board.
Second goal of the game for Farstad, who goes high up top. He gets possession of the ball, does a bit of a stutter step just at the top of the, I guess you could call it the top of the crease there. Or not necessarily the crease, but right in front of the net, and that's what I call, Steve, a direct hit, a.k.a. a bullseye. Great vision there by Farstad. He knew where he wanted to shoot the ball, and that's exactly where he shot it. And like I said, the Bellies doing a great job playing to their game, playing to their style, now leading 8-4.
Just a matter of time. You're going to see the Islanders come back and get another one on the board. They're getting chance after chance. I mean, when you look at it right now, the shot's close, 34-32 in favor, 34-33, correction, in favor of the Islanders.
Well, Steve, it might be an 8-4 game, but in the sport of lacrosse, that's necessarily a one-goal lead.
And that's probably about, yes, indeed. And it could be like about a 45-second goal to tie it back up as well. Goals come fast and furious in this game. Far side, we saw that right from the opening two goals in the period, one from each team. Less than 40 seconds in. Now they go back down. Lawrence comes inside as Lawrence goes deep, waiting for it. Logan Lawrence sets it back out to Miles. Miles back out to Burt. Burt, the captain, goes down the left side wall, lobs it back behind the net. Miles is off on a change. Burt comes inside, going after it, gets control. Taking control. Now they're going to have a pick play and a change of possession right now going for the Bellies as they pick it back up. McAllis took his man off of the ball, actually knocked him down, so that's why the change of possession right now. Now it's off of the goaltender, so possession again for the Bellies.
That's what I talked about, Steve. The transition play, it's so fast. The referee immediately blows the whistle, and second Fredo drives inside, gets a good shot on goal.
A quick one again, they go inside, waits, Plani comes in, shoots and scores! 5-on-5, even strength goal, and that puts the Bellies up one more.
Well, Lincoln Twomley had a great start to the first period, scoring 2 goals, and after that, we didn't really see much of him out on the floor. He was pretty quiet. When Al adds on to his goal total, that'll be his hat-trick goal, his 3rd goal of the game, and Lincoln Twomley makes it 9-4 for the Salmon Bellies, who their transition offense, Steve, it is there, it is visible, and it is very well foreseen. So I think we're going to have a change here as
we are goaltender change.
Goaltending change, yes indeed. So that'll mark the end of the night for Christopher Patton.
And going in,
let's find out. I believe it's going to be Robert Milkey, if I'm not mistaken, who is wearing number 1 for this Delta Islanders team. And, you know, not much more that Patton could have done. Steve, he did absolutely everything he could, but, you know, hopefully this will spark the Islanders in their attempts to get back in this game.
No, I never blame goaltenders. There's 5 in front of them. And, of course, if you block the goaltender, as we've always said, if you block the goaltender, you run a pick, the goalie can't stop what he can't see, Jack.
And this is something that I'll allude to during the intermission. The offense, no problem for the Delta Islanders. They've done a great job in getting opportunities, but their defense needs to step up.
Just tighten it up a little bit. Now they go back inside again. McAllis stays inside the corner. McAllis with Smith. Smith takes his time. McAllis steals it. Worked over. McAllis holds on to it. The ball rolls loose. Rolls back out, and it's grabbed, easily intercepted this time out to Watt, and Watt's on the right side. Watt off of the wall, turns. Now they called him for the back over. That sort of caught him off guard. Now they go back out again. Miles comes inside, looks, goes high, goes low, goes this time and taken out, and Plante caught it and kicked it out of play. Out to the far side wall as they continue to press back down, and Hurd comes in. Hurd waits. Left side as they continue to press it back in. Good play to fight for it as Miles has it. Miles over in the left side. Hogue is a trailer. Now Hogue comes off the wall and he goes over on the left side of the crease. Hogue comes inside, stays, runs a bit of a pick with Kennedy. Poole goes wide to the outside. Hogue cuts in front of the crease. Back around again to Poole. Poole goes in, rips a shot. Did it go in? No, it did not. Everybody looked behind him, even Plante. Plante and about 3 players with him. They all looked behind him.
Communication, Steve, it is key.
Under 2 left in the middle period. Opening game for the B1s for your Delta Islanders at the Ladner Leisure Center on a Friday night. First Friday in May. Shot deflected, goes wide to the outside wall. Schmurr comes inside, holds onto it. Now rolls back behind the net. They're trying to grab it a second time, and Reed stays with his man. Out of the reach of Reed. Islanders press. Back to center for again, and King holds onto it. King goes back down, looks, goes wide to the outside. King holds onto the ball. Good setup play for King to come inside. King's had enough, he's off on a change. Shots tied at 36. Still inside. Kernahan. Kernahan comes inside. Poole's calling for it. 4 on the shot clock. Rips a shot right there. They're trying to pick it back up. Shot went. And they go back the other way again, straight down with Nobbs coming in. Nobbs used sparingly so far in the contest tonight, but he's out there right now making his point. Really a welcome addition to the squad for the Bellies. Left side wall as they come inside. Schmurr goes in. Schmurr looks, holds on it, goes against the wall. 12 on the shot clock. They go back down with about 35 left in the second period. Now rolls back out the mid-floor, one hopper. They're going to try and pick this one back up as Miles comes back down. Miles just leaves it. Shot clock goes, waits. It's grabbed easily this time. And possession this time, nope, is going to be going for the Islanders, but timeout called for the Bellies right now with 22 seconds left in the middle period.
That's a smart timeout, Steve. The shot clock is turned off. You're up by 5 goals. Why not try and make it 6 here? as you will have possession, and very often we see sometimes the goaltender is pulled for the extra attacker when one team has the possession because they look to run down the clock and get the last shot on goal. You know, we saw that last year, many points with this Delta Islanders team, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see it again this time around. Of course, this being the second game of the season for the Delta Islanders. Last game, like I said, it was a 13-8 win over the Burnaby Lakers here at the Ladner Leisure Center last Friday, and you know, they were looking to come out and respond this way, but the Salmon Bellies team, like I said, Steve, they lost by 1 second last game. The goal was scored in the last second, and I mean, who wouldn't be determined to come out and put on this sort of performance, even, you know, after a tough loss like that?
Of course, we're back here on Sunday afternoon for a game against Victoria. 2 o'clock.
The Shamrocks come to town. It's a 2 o'clock game, and you know, that's going to be us for the majority of this summer. Every weekend we're going to be back with a new game of Delta Islanders lacrosse, whether it be Junior A, B1, or B2.
And we'll also be doing the Pioneers games on Thursday on Eastlink TV.
Oh boy, am I excited for
and
that.
And the odd game, if the Islanders are playing on a Wednesday for Junior A, we'll be doing those on television as well. For Eastlink, very credit.
I am telling you, Steve, I couldn't be more excited.
Back out the Pool. Pool takes his time, glances up, knows how much time's in the period right now. 14 and counting. Far side. Good play to set it back up. Crooks trying to feed it back out the Pool, taking a shot, rolls wide to the outside. Will they finish the play back off? They're going to bump them off of the ball this time. Pool comes inside, unable to get control. Now they go back around. Nicholson inside. Too little, too late. And the ball's drifted all the way back down the floor.
Oh.
So a couple players come together.
He grabbed the mask as well.
I'm going to see what the referee is going to have a discussion. He's going to be talking to his partner. I know that right now. So thoughts on period 2, Jack? That was a well-placed, fast time period.
Yeah, very much, Steve. You know, and I think, you know, our good buddy Blake Milton also texted it during the period. The offense, no problem at all so far for the Delta Islanders. They've gotten 4 shots on, or not 4 shots on goal, but they've gotten 4 goals to blow by. But I really want to see the Islanders having to match the physicality that this new West Salmon Bellies team has had. They have to play aggressive. They have to be physical with their defense, close down the shooting lanes. That's something that the new West Salmon Bellies have done a very good job on, in getting 2 men on the person who has the lacrosse ball. They're closing down those passing lanes, and New West has been doing a great job in doing so. The Islanders have to match that defensive pressure, that defensive physicality. By no means is this game over yet. Yes, it's a 9-4 game, but by no means is this contest over. We still have 20 minutes left to play here at the LLC.
And the officials are having a discussion with both coaches as well. Obviously, something transpired at the end of the period that they were not happy with, so you can see them. And they're having a good discussion over on the far side. Yeah,
the assistant coaches as well, and you know, they're talking in. The referees there, as you can see on the far side, giving a visible sort of explanation. It's like show and tell. You know, you're showing what your point of view was, and then you're telling the coaches that this is what we saw, this is why we perhaps made a call, this is why we didn't make a call. So, you know, great job by the officials, good 2 official crew that we have here. And Steve, it's sometimes when the coaches are talking to the officials, it's not about what you say, it's about how you say it.
Oh, true.
You know, like I said, this is a good communication between the coaches and the officials.
I've said that a lot of times. If I'm on the, you know, walking beside a player or skating beside a player on the ice, out of all the refereeing I did, whether it was lacrosse or whatever, if the player wants to tell me I'm a bit of a jerk, that's fine. I don't care. It's me and him. I can call him a jerk back, and it's me and him a one-on-one. But if he's across the floor 85 feet away, sorry, push comes to shove. Referee wins. He's got the stripes on, and you don't. But it's a good conversation. I like the conversation. I like the discussion that they're having over there.
Yeah, and you know, so far the special teams hasn't really been too much of a factor here for both of these teams. And you know, if I was to take a look, I'm trying to see if I can pull up the live scoreboard here. Well, the live scoreboard's not on there, the game sheet, but nonetheless, like I said, it hasn't been too undisciplined of a game. There's been, you know, a couple of opportunities on both sides, like the 5-minute major penalty that the Islanders took. The Salmon Bellies were unable to capitalize there, and straight out of the box came Logan Hinton like a shooting rocket and went down the other way and scored a goal. Special teams not really too major of a factor, as you said, Steve, or as I said. I can't be putting words into your mouth.
Sure you can.
But nonetheless, it's been a fun game to call so far. And, you know, for yourself and myself, I think no matter what the result tonight, we're happy nonetheless to be able to call lacrosse once again and put on the headsets once again here at the Ladner Leisure Center.
Well, the interesting part about that, when you talk about him coming out of the penalty box, he came out of the penalty box and just exploded, but he got behind everybody on the center floor, and nobody even saw him coming back.
Yeah, the Salmon Bellies really had no indication, no clue on who was coming back and when they were coming back. Nonetheless, that was a great communication by the Islanders. They're finding Hinton up front. He was right there behind the defense, and they found him, albeit it was a bit of a messy pass. It took him a bit to settle it down and, keep it how he wanted to. But they were able to find him, and with that, the Islanders were able to get a goal after a 5-minute major penalty they took.
Bit of a side note from lacrosse. I had a couple of people come over before the game started, and they were asking me, because they know we cover lots of sports, they were asking me what's going on at Nat Bailey Stadium. Well, right now it's a mess. There's construction all over the place. The picnic area is gone because they're going to have it re-renovated, and it's in the process right there. Next year it'll be all completed, but right now it's still a work in progress. I guess the biggest issue I've got down with Nat Bailey Stadium, and of course, good buddy Tyler Zickel does the broadcast. But the key for that was, it's just the key right there that's a problem right now at Nat is just the parking, Jag.
Yeah, very much. And I mean, for us, we try and get there as early as we can to find a parking spot. And, we normally do get a good parking spot not too far from the stadium, but it's a bit more of a walk than we'd like to, Steve. I'm not going to lie to you, but nonetheless, like you said, that's the biggest thing right now. And of course, with the construction going on, the place is a mess, surroundings are a mess, and the score certainly today was a mess as well, as the Vancouver Canadians lost 7-4, and their record's now under 500. It's 12 wins, 13 losses, and like you said, it's obviously a part of an ongoing process. New coaching staff there as well, so we'll kind of see how things play out.
It'll work its way out right now. We know that right now. Of course, just a friendly reminder, the Warriors playing Sunday night in Vancouver, 6 o'clock start game time. I know you're going to be down there. We'll be here in the afternoon at 2, so tune in and catch the broadcast here on SportsWave. And I know Matt's going to have the links all put up, and we'll make sure they get up on his site front and center. And we'll get the word out to everybody and let everybody know what's going on.
Very much. I'm looking forward to hopefully getting there in time, hopefully finding parking there at Rogers Arena. That's sometimes a very hard thing to do, but I'll be hoping to find my parking down there under the arena, and as soon as we wrap up here, I'll be zooming on like I'm Sonic the Hedgehog to find my place down there at Rogers Arena. It should be a fun night of lacrosse.
Fair to say that you and I have the luxury because we have, first off, we get the chance to park underneath Rogers Arena. The key right now, especially for Sunday's game, because it's going to be, from what I'm told, they're going to open the upper bowl, and that's going to be packed down there.
Yeah, well, no playoff hockey here this year because the Vancouver Canucks just couldn't make the playoffs again. It feels like we say it all the times. It's more rare that we make the playoffs than we don't. But nonetheless, I have my own thoughts on that. But the Vancouver Warriors certainly made the playoffs, and despite them being down 1-0 right now, Warriors fans are very passionate. They want to support the game of lacrosse, and that's what they'll be looking to do. So, like I said, hopefully the game doesn't extend too long here at the Ladner Leisure Center, so I can zoom out and get there to cover the game of lacrosse. I
have to give a special shout out because last Saturday evening, myself, Kevin Adlam with Eastlink, our producer, we had the luxury and the chance to go down and cover the Kids Sport Gala in sunny Tsawwassen at the gorgeous Tsawwassen Springs Hotel down there, and a nice ballroom and all that, but it was really nice to see. And of course, Carleen Lewell, the chairperson that runs that, and Carleen does a great job running that, organizing it. And Evan Dunphy, Canada's Olympic race walker, was the guest speaker. Had a chance to talk to Evan, and it's really nice because Kids Sports supports kids up until the age of 18 for playing sports. And in today's world, sad to say, not everybody stays together, and it's tough on the families. And I would say, without talking out of context, I would say that, in a lot of cases, it probably affects the mom more so than the dad. And, but it was nice to see, and congratulations to Kids Sport. And feel free to donate to Carleen and Kids Sport. Not to Carleen, but it goes to Kids Sport. It's really, really worthwhile. Yeah. Really nice.
Yeah, very much. And obviously, foundations such as Kids Sport, such as Kids Play. Of course, Cal Desange is the one that runs Kids Play, the Kids Play Foundation. With my hockey team, the Surrey Eagles, we attended, a event that they had called Crime Stoppers, Steve, last month. And, it's initiatives like those that really guide the youth in the right direction, create opportunities for the youth to participate in, some events that the less fortunate may not be able to participate in. And, it's initiatives like those that are going to, guide and create the athletes of tomorrow.
Yeah, very much. They're building today, tomorrow's future today, which is what it's all about. And you can see the Islanders back down inside the crease. Islanders trying to have a bit of a pep talk, see what they're going to do. And, of course, who are they going to stick with? They're going to go back out with Patton or Milky?
I believe, if it was me, I think they're going to stick here with Christopher Patton, if I'm not mistaken. That seems to be the case. So it's definitely a good decision by head coach Nathan Wilson, obviously giving Patton the time to recuperate, rest, and Nathan Wilson knows what he has in his goaltender. He trusts his goaltender, and with that, he's going to start with him.
Well, Nathan was talking to him after the period on the floor right there in front of the bench. Probably told him, look, we pulled you out just to settle you down, give you a bit of a rest, you worked hard, and that's the way it's going to go. So period 3 getting set to be underway right now. And the Bellies up 9-4 right now, up by 5. Shots 37-36 in favor of the Islanders. Referee whistles a play in from the draw. They pulled it, got it back again this time, and Smith holds on to it. Smith misplayed it, goes back out the center floor again. Straight down the right side as they come back inside, and Miles goes deep. As Miles goes deep, Reed stays with him. Looks, gives this one back out to Kernahan. Kernahan takes it a one-hopper. This is grabbed easily and picked back up by Burt, who dishes it all the way back out to Crooks. Now Burt goes behind the net. Crooks is over on the right side. Crooks setting it back up, seeing who's free. Poole goes over on the left side wall to grab it. 5 on the shot clock. Holding on to it, taking a huge shot behind the net, centered back out in front. Huge shot, taking shot, scores, and they go in. 1 second of the shot clock, and they buried it in. What a nice passing play by Poole.
Very much. Simon Poole with a great pass, and Michael Bird also there on the connection. And Steve, that's the start you want to have if you're head coach Nathan Wilson. A quick start, 37 seconds in, finding the back of the net. And the Islanders are going to continue to try and gain some momentum back and make the score a lot closer.
As you mentioned, 37 seconds in. That's the way they started the first period. A quick start is what they were looking for.
I know math is not really my best subject, but a little mental math there never hurt anyone.
Not at all. So they go back inside the corner on the left side this time, and Smith picked it back up. Now Smith is going back over in the transition on the change. Reed is with him. Reed takes his time. No urgency, and now they hustle it back around out the center floor. Kennedy grabs it. Kennedy far side. This is grabbed on the one hopper, going all the way back down to mid-floor again. Hogue comes in. Hogue shot, scores! Hogue gets it. That's the start they wanted, Jag.
Oh, that'll make Matt really happy as Matt Hogue's son, Oliver Hogue, strikes on the breakaway. And we saw Matt celebrating to our broadcast, right, Steve? 1:04 in. 2 goals in 1 minute and 4 seconds for the Delta Islanders. They only trail by 3 now. A big goal there by Oliver Hogue.
I didn't know Matt could be that animated, but he was indeed. To the back. That's the start that the Islanders wanted for the third period. Referee whistles a play in after they dropped it and drew it back. Miles couldn't get control. It went the other way, and Nobbs comes down. Nobbs ripped a shot. Big stop by Patton. Huge shot over top of the net and rolls wide over the left side corner again. Grabbed easily by 20. 20, center floor to Reed. Reed looks, gives it away. Changed his mind. I thought he was going to pass it over the corner to 20, but he didn't. He gives it back around out to Schmurr. Schmurr comes inside. 20 takes a shot. Stopped again by Patton. Grabbed over on a one-hopper by Schmurr again as he fights for it. Out the center floor. Directing traffic from the back end again is 20. 20 comes in. Schmurr. 20 wants to get control. Left side boards.
Ooh,
20 trying to get it. Funny hop right there. Takes a hop.
He tried a little bit of razzle-dazzle there, Steve. Tried to go behind the back. And I mean, I get it, you're up 3 goals, but is it really the time and place to do so?
If it works, go with what happens. Back again on the left side. Schmurr comes inside. Schmurr off of the wall. Left side boards again. They're going to cut out to the center. Ripping a shot right there. 20 shoots and scores. A low sub shot. That completely caught the Islanders' eye. I don't think they expected him to get the shot. I think they expected the pass.
4th goal of the game for Lincoln Twomley. Once again, a great pass there. Finding Twomley up top, and he is able to capitalize, and that, I like to call it the silencer here at the Ladner Leisure Center. The crowd was starting to get back into it. The Islanders got 2 goals in 1:04 to begin the third period. However, Lincoln Twomley comes up big as he restores the 4-goal lead for the Salmon Bellies.
Well, you and I know how fast goals can be scored in the game of lacrosse.
Very fast.
They're going to set this one back up, getting it all ready. 18:02 left in the third period right now. 10-6 in favor of the Bellies. They go back around. give the first goal up, but they've grabbed the last couple. Now they go back inside again, left side boards. They come inside, and Hinton's in the corner. Hinton's wide to the outside. Good play to Nicholson. Nicholson trying to get it back. Flack is off on a change. Nicholson's way out in front. Goes wide to the outside boards this time, and Crooks comes in. Crooks goes after, chases in the corner. This is grabbed again easily by Burt, the captain. Burt holds onto it. Wants to see who's free and wide open. Poole to Burt. Behind the net. Out in front again. Poole trying to get it. A one-hopper. Chases after it. Trying to grab it. The Bellies grab this one. They go back the other way again, and Ferreira gets up the center floor. Lob pass. Blocked. Knocked. Rolls wide this time, and it's picked back up by Kennedy. And Kennedy comes inside with King all over him like a wet blanket. Center floor. Good zone in. Diving desperation. Shot. Scores another one. And the Bellies got the last two. That was one they faked to the right and went low to the left.
Well, Steve, it's crazy how the game on lacrosse can have so many momentum swings. The Islanders scored 2 goals in a minute 4, and not long after, the Salmon Bellies respond with 2 goals in a very quick succession. It's going to be the second goal of the game for Jack Fellon, who receives a bank, sort of a bank of a pass, you want to call it there, as Fellon, right place, right time in front of the net, great net front presence, and just like that, it's a 5-goal game once again. Shots on goal are tied at 40. Have
to make mention we do have a very, very good crowd on hand tonight here, watching the game inside the Ladner Leisure Center. And again, be sure to check it out on Sportswave. Lots of great lacrosse coming up all year long. The more the merrier. We want to get you to tune into our lacrosse out here in Ladner for the Islanders. Shot scores right from the draw. Hustling the way back down, and the Bellies have got the last 3.
That's going to be Matias Segafredo. He's had a couple of opportunities, and I mean, quite the celebration from Matias Segafredo. He's going to be one to watch this summer. He likes to get pretty animated. Segafredo is able to bury that one home, and he's doing the line like a hockey player. That is incredible. He's doing the glove line, I guess you want to call it there. I did see that. It's now a 6-goal game as the Salmon Bellies have responded with 3 goals after the Islanders scored 2 quick ones.
Referee having a discussion with a couple players way back in the Bellies half of the floor just before the ball was placed between the sticks. Now they go back down the other way. Flack comes in. Flack goes in. Quick change. 2 off and 2 on for the Islanders. Huge shot taken. Big rebound. Desperation shot. Scores! And it goes inside. And we're going to have a penalty called. I'm going to see if that's going to be credited with a goal as well. What a nice diving desperation play. I believe that was Hinton that finished it back off. It was.
It was Logan Hinton.
And
Steve,
he's limping off.
He took the initial shot. His shot was stopped, but he stayed with it. He goes with the rebound. Was able to bury the rebound home. We're going to have a penalty coming up here. This is going to go against Chase Segafredo, the brother of Matias. And with that, the Islanders not only get a goal, they get a power play out of it as well. It's now a 5-goal deficit.
So the player's going to have a discussion. Referee's going to indicate what's going on, what the call is, and you can see the referee indicating the call. Yes. Now he's talking like the communication, as I've always said.
Yeah, there you saw Matias Segafredo and Sebastian Miles, and Sebastian Miles will go back and tell head coach Nathan Wilson what the referees told him.
I've told players stuff sometimes. The players have gone back. The players, coach has said, what do you want? What did he tell you? He said, never mind. It's funny. Good communication.
There you go.
So we are back right now. They're going to put the penalty up on the clock. They did. They got a minor up on the clock right now. I think we're going to have an issue with the goaltender. Wants a drink of water, a little bit of perspiration. This is more, I think, I would speculate, and I'm not saying anything disrespectful. I would think that, gee, maybe this is a bit of a rest just to rest my players. Would that be fair?
Very much. I think he's actually looking for something. I'm not sure what it is. The trainer has gone back to the dressing room.
Well, that's fair.
We'll see what it is, but I believe, Steve, like you said, he's just making sure that he's all good to go. I think adjusting his equipment.
I know in hockey, and I hate to digress on another sport, but I know in hockey that if you've got a spare goaltender dressed on the bench and the goalie wants an equipment change, he's got to go off and put the spare goaltender back in for one.
We saw that this year with Merrick Erickson and Thomas Popa, I believe it was.
Yeah, we did with the Delta
Ice Hawks.
Delta Ice Hawks, yes. Come up a little bit short.
Oh, well, there's always next year.
They've been saying that for a long time. But they went there, what was it, 18 when they won the last one? I think it was.
No, 2023.
Yes.
They won the Stonehouse Cup.
I've got my ring from 2018. That's all I know.
I'm still looking for my first ring.
It's coming.
It's coming, hopefully.
Burt waits. Crooks is out front. Back out to Burt. Burt to Crooks. Back to Burt. Burt left side again. Good cross pass back out again. A little bit of a good give and go, and they set it back out to Burt again. Burt to Crooks. The two of them switch positions, ripping a low shot off of the back wall. They're trying to grab it. This is grabbed by the bellies, and they go back the other way with Reed hustling his way back down, all the way in the left side corner as he goes inside. Segafredo picks it back up. A minute and a half left in the minor penalty. They wait for it. Segafredo still against the boards, being hounded off of the ball this time, trying to grab it. Segafredo lobs it straight forward. Will he go after it? He almost got it a second time. Close, but didn't really count on that play. Now they go back around, and the Islanders, Miles will hold on to it. Miles gives it straight forward. Up to Crooks. Crooks right side corner. Back out again as Crooks picks it back up. Crooks works it out. Good setup play to Burt. Burt waits, looks. Crooks is wide open again. Couldn't get it back through to him this time. Nice long shot taken that time by Glover. And it was just a little bit too much, too wide. Far side again as Plante holds on to it. Plante out to mid-floor. Good long pass up to Nobbs this time, and Nobbs just takes his time. 15 and a half left in the third. Getting away from his man on the spin move right there was Farstad. Farstad turns, goes back. Smith comes inside. Smith goes wide to the outside. Burt's all over him. Farstad inside. Board comes in. Board's deep inside the corner. Miles works him loose this time, and the ball goes loose, and they're going to give possession this time back for the Islanders again.
It may have been a shot clock violation there, but if you're the Salmon Bellies, you're very happy you're killing more time off of the penalty clock.
They're doing a good job. 15 left in their minor penalty as well. McGallis, right side, as McGallis holds on to it. Trying to feed it free inside. Sub shot taken that time by Burt. Bounces and rolls all the way back out the center floor, and Poole picks it back up. Poole picks it back up. The minor for Segafredo was out. He returns back out to the floor. Nicholson's out there. Nicholson, Segafredo, the two of them tied together at the hip. Now they go back over the right side wall one more time. Turning, getting himself free. McGallis off of the wall. McGallis goes out the middle. Thought about taking the shot, changed his mind. Ripping a huge shot on the far side was Kernahan. It rolls back out the center floor again, and they pick it back up. We have a penalty called right now, and I think this is going to be called for too many players.
Yes, it is. It's going to be an illegal substitution, and I saw as immediately Simon Poole was heading off for the change. This will be an illegal substitution.
For the Bellies.
It's going to be against the Bellies. I had my eyes on Simon Poole. I thought that was the case, but no. It's going to be the Salmon Bellies heading, and serving this one's going to be number 19, Blake Hurd.
Too far, too quick. One rule I really love, and I've said this before, the one rule I really love with lacrosse is the change box. I think that's great. You're going off, you're in the change box, and I would love to see minor hockey, or hockey in general, put that in more for the minor referees than anything else. That way nobody could question it. You just point to the box and say you were in the box. You were out or in the box, one or the other. Back out as Poole gets control. Poole right side. Poole gets it back, goes wide to the outside, also inside as Crooks. Crooks is calling for it. Crooks comes in, runs the pick, takes Reed off of the ball this time, unable to get control. Now rolls all the way back down the other way. As it goes all the way back down, they called him for the back over. So they give possession of the ball this time. It's going to go back over in the corner, and the Bellies will pick it back up with 1:39 left in their minor penalty. Leaving it in the right corner with Board. Board cuts his way back inside as Board holds onto it. He's deep inside the corner, worked off of the ball this time, trying to get it free this time is Twonley. Twonley looks, throws it back around. Good play to Schmurf. He held onto it. Now he backpedals towards center floor. Worked off of the ball. They've got those pads all over them, so they're not going to get hurt with the stick work. We all know that. Feist comes in. Feist goes in. Oh, there was a bit of a pick play right there. I guess that's a bit of a pick play and interference. Change of possession definitely for the Islanders. Up to center floor. Islanders on the power play. Lawrence gives it free. Good setup play. Lawrence to McGallis. Crooks is inside. As Crooks goes inside, McGallis to Crooks. Crooks off of the wall, back out to mid-floor again. Good setup out to Kernahan. Kernahan, Crooks gets it back. Huge shot, deflected, but they score! A bullet of a shot, and it's a power play goal for the Islanders.
Yeah, Levi Crooks is going to get credit for that one. See his first of the game, and that was sort of one where he was confident in his shot. As you made mention, it was a power play goal for the Islanders who were on the power play, and it's good on Levi Crooks to have that sort of confidence in the shot. It also gives confidence to the coach that he can rely to put Levi Crooks out there on the man advantage. The Islanders now within 5.
So
I think it's 12-8, so they're within 4.
They're trying to get it sorted out. Well, they were within 4 when it was 10-6 as well. Now it goes back out the mid-floor again. They're going to pick this one back up. Ferreira comes in, unable to hold on to it. Now goes back the other way, and they pick this one back up on a bit of a play. Back down is Flack. Flack going in, far side. Huge shot taken, reset for new 30. But what a nice pass by Flack over to Poole.
And Flack was expecting the cross crease there. He's able to reach across.
I actually thought that Flack was going to take the initial shot instead of passing it.
Very much.
They go back, penalty coming up for the Bellies. Goaltender is out for the extra attacker. Now we're going to have a bit of a, what are they going to call it? I think we're going to have a slash. We're going to have one or two. I think we're going to have one.
It's going to be one slashing penalty, Steve. Heading back to the box is going to be Matias Segafredo. He's going to be heading off 2 minutes for slashing. And the Islanders, they just scored on the power play and now get another power play to work with. You'll take this if you're head coach Nathan Wilson. Completely.
Nathan's having a good discussion with his players again, which I like. So special thanks to Matt Hogue for coming over and joining us in our broadcast location after the first period of play. Lots of good stuff coming on this year for the Delta Islanders. So stick around and we'll let you know all about it.
We'll have lots of guests on the broadcast this year too.
I hope so. I really, really do. They go back inside again. Burt gets a shot that was blocked. Hinton goes after it, trying to grab it. And the Bellies hold on to this one. Bellies, good play to get it back out the center floor. Good play. Stewartson comes out. Stewartson throws it straight forward. Good play to get control of it, and Farstad holds on it. Farstad goes wide. Miles is all over him. Penalty coming up this time for the Islanders. I'm seeing the referee. I think he's going to be calling a slashing penalty, Jack.
Bodies were on the floor. They were falling down.
Like 10-pin.
Like 10-pin, very much. Sebastian Miles is going to be heading to the box, the alternate captain for the Delta Islanders, and he's going to be met with the same fate as Matias Segafredo. Both now in the box for slashing, so it'll be 4-on-4 for about a minute 32 before it will be a power play for the New West Salmon Bellies.
For 28 seconds, the Bellies have a penalty, a power play when this all finishes and wraps up.
Now, Steve, I know the Islanders made a lot of off-season changes. I think our math is much better after the off-season, too.
It has to be. Back out, looks, trying to feed it back out in front again, out to Schmurr. Schmurr comes inside, waits, holding on to it. Schmurr runs a bit of a pick play right there, and Farstad goes in. Shot scores! There's a shot that they did not want to go in, but it did. Nathan Wilson over on the far side taking notes on the bench. All a learning curve, Jack.
Yeah, very much. It's still very early in the season. Cooper Board will get credit for that goal there for the Salmon Bellies, but it's very early in the season, Steve. The coaches, they know that these points do count towards, you know, what they're trying to accomplish, the end goal and making the playoffs and whatnot. But, you know, it's good on the coaching staff. They're taking note of things early now. So when there is practices during the week, they get to implement any changes they wish to make.
And the coaches have a lot of changes they want to make, and you and I both know that. So center floor again. On the right side, Flack dishes it back inside to Crooks. Crooks turns as Crooks goes wide to the outside. Trying to grab it. First one coming inside is McAllis. McAllis is in front of the net. Now he goes over the corner, and Crooks just lobs it back over to him, picks it back up. McAllis comes wide inside, looks, Reed stays with him. Diving play, calling for the crease. And the change of possession right now, and the Bellies have it, and they throw it straight out the middle floor, and Nobbs grabs it as he goes up the center and down the right side. Now switches, goes on the left side. Minor penalties still in the box. Bellies to be the first one out. Now they go back again, left side boards. Faria comes in, looks, cuts wide to the outside, throwing it in front. Desperation shot by Kennedy. Takes a shot away, and Patton had to be alert to stop that one. That goes back out with the Islanders, holding on to it. Islanders, a long pass all the way back down the floor inside. Good play, set up by Burt, gets a shot, rolls wide, and Burt had an exceptional chance, just unable to finish it back off. Burt stayed with his man. Run. Completely, a very impressive run by Burt. Now goes back, kept over center floor. Penalty coming up this time, going for the Islanders. And they call them also for the back over for the Salmon Bellies again. This is going to be a cross-checking penalty for the Islanders.
Yeah, we haven't seen the cross-check penalty here today, but Keaton Nicholson is going to be heading off for 2 minutes, and it's going to be 4-on-3 for 7 seconds before it'll be 5-on-3 for the New West Salmon Bellies.
4-on-3 sounds much better, especially if you're an Islanders supporter.
I mean, we barely see that, Steve, either in hockey or in lacrosse, a 4-on-3.
Very, very.
And this is smart of the Salmon Bellies. They're letting the time tick off, so they'll get to work 5-on-3.
Well, they are. So they come back. Going off the floor on the far side was Segafredo. Bellies out to mid-floor again. Good play. Schmurr comes in. Schmurr cross pass. Packer out again out to Twanley. Twally to Schmurf. Inside, shot, nope. Called him on a block on a pick play right there, and the Islanders will hold on the ball. As they come back down, they're just going to kill seconds off the clock right now. They know that the first one's out in 10 seconds. They cut wide to the outside, and Lawrence comes inside. Lawrence rips a shot over top of the shoulder and rolls wide, but what a chance by Lawrence. Bit of a push play right there. Referee is saying we're not going to have any of that one. And I think the referee back at center floor is calling a penalty. I think. I could be wrong. I'm looking at the signal. I saw him hustle in from center floor like he was on a motorcycle. Apparently not. He just came into center floor just so he wanted to let everybody know where he was. Close to proximity of the play. So Miles takes his time. Miles holds on it. What, are you going to bring home pizza?
No.
Lucky guy.
Checking the out-of-town scoreboard.
For lacrosse?
For multiple sports.
Okay, we just need lacrosse. Back out again over the left side wall as they're going to hold on to it. First one trying to grab this one is Hinton comes inside, pushed off of the ball, going wide to the outside, and Poole continues to go inside. High shot deflected, possession of the back to the ball again for the Islanders. Referee inbounds the ball. The ball actually deflected up and over top of the mesh, out of play. And they'll grab this one and pick it back up again as Hogue holds onto it. Hogue holds onto it. 45 left in their minor penalty for Nicholson. Shot taken, blocked, and Plant holds onto it. Plant straight up the mid part of the floor. In and out of the webbing of the stick this time. Smith couldn't hold onto it. Now they grab again, and Seganfredo picked it back up. I think they're going to call too many players right there, so a change of possession this time. So possession this time back for the Islanders again.
32 seconds left in the penalty to Nicholson.
So Cross left from the one side of the floor to over the right side, picking this one back up again as he holds onto it. Cross easily play, hustles his way inside. Off of the wall on the right side, out to center floor. Cross comes inside, rips a sub shot, deflected wide, goes on the outside wall this time. And this is picked back up again by Smith, and Smith picks it back up. Smith gives it back out to Nobbs. Nobbs down, 1-1 going in. Shot scores over top of the right shoulder. Not the goal that the Islanders wanted to give up, and that'll be a power play goal with 7 seconds left in the minor penalty for Nicholson.
Well, the number 7 that we're used to seeing fly is Brad Batista of the Delta Islanders, but there, Ellery Nobbs gets right open on the breakaway, Steve. He never looked back, made no mistake, and that's something that the coaching staff of the Salmon Bellies will also take note of. Players who run with the opportunity. It's a 7-goal lead now for the New West Salmon Bellies.
And that's a big 7 goals, too.
And with 9:04 remaining in the third, the Islanders will look to certainly try and cut into that lead.
Time flies, now goes back the other way. Islanders holding on with Flack as a trailer. Nicholson comes inside. McAllis takes it, picks it back up on the one hopper, holds on it. McAllis being worked over like a ragdoll right there by Stewartson. McAllis lobs it back inside the corner. Good setup play. In front of net, going after this one's going to be Nicholson. Nicholson couldn't grab it. Long shot taken that time, right on target by Poole. Alert and had to stop. That was Plant, Jack.
Yeah, long shot is one way to describe it, Steve. Shots on goal 50-44 now, but this New West Salmon Bellies team, I'm really liking their transition offense. They're getting the ball to the right place at the right time.
Talk about a long transition play. If we were playing baseball, that would have been from center field.
Very much.
Out to mid-floor one more time as they hold on to it. Kennedy, far side to Board. Board comes in. Kennedy is free and wide open. They couldn't give it back, and they thought about it, changed their mind. Tipping it, going in front of the net, pushed. Off of the boards again, and Schmurf goes after it, trying to grab it. And now the Islanders hustle their way back down to center floor again. Feiss takes his time. Feiss gives it back around. Good change, a fast change right there as Crooks goes down the right side. Crooks comes inside. Far side again. They'll just set this one back up. Sub shot taken off of the back wall. They're going to pick it back up again, and Crooks goes in. Shoot, scores! That's the one they wanted on the rebound. Crooks set it back up. And that'll be another one on the board for the Islanders.
Second of the game for Levi Crooks, and it's at that same place, that right side, just at the, I like to call it the elbow area, if you may, for Levi Crooks. He chose his spot, he aimed his shot, and then he took the shot. Levi Crooks, his second goal in a few minutes, and the Islanders, like I said, they're looking to cut into that 6-goal lead now. 7:38 to go in the third.
A little bit of time left. Push play run this time. They're going to back around. Islanders come inside. 1-1 going in. Shot scores! The coaching staff of the Bellies were not happy with that one. They thought there might have been a little bit of a quick transition. maybe waited.
Alternate captain Sebastian Miles gets the back of the net there as he came out of the penalty box not too long ago. And Steve, it's like they're hearing me up here from the broadcast booth, cutting into the lead of the Salmon Bellies. It's a 5-goal deficit now for the Islanders, and they are giving themselves an opportunity to get back into this game.
So go back from center floor, waits, Miles threw it straight forward, gives it inside to Flack. Flack is way deep inside the right corner as Flack holds onto it. Faria comes inside. Who's going to pick this one back up? And Crooks will hold onto it. Crooks holds onto it. Controls it inside the webbing of the stick. Off of the wall. Looks, turns, goes inside. Gets away this time from Smith. Takes a shot. Scores! Completely caught Smith off guard in that one right there, Jack.
Well, I think the Islanders thought the same thing in the words of the PA announcer. Let's go! It is a 4-goal game now for the Delta Islanders. Their deficit is cut down to 4. And Steve, what a last minute and a half for this Islanders team. 3 goals in that span, and they are really giving themselves a chance to get back into this game. They're leading the shot total 53-44.
Well, it's never over till it's over. We have said that several times through our broadcast. Now it goes back the other way again. Miles rips a shot, a sub shot, booted back out by Plot. What a nice setup play. Miles trying to pick up, back up again. Pushed off of the ball. Referee said he was pushed by one of the Bellies, so possession this time is going to go back around for Miles. I like that. Let's go.
Well, we talked about it last year too.
We did. I thought Nola was doing some announcing, but maybe not tonight for the B1s. Could be wrong. Back down. Way deep inside the Islanders' left side corner. They'll pick it back up. First one inside is Smith. Smith goes after his man. Takes him heavily against the Wards. Batista picks it back up. Smith goes after it. Holding on it. Batista couldn't get control. Now they go back down the far side again, and Watt comes inside. Watt misplayed it over center floor. Called for the back over, so you can't do that. So they get possession this time for the Islanders again. Quick transition. Game goes faster when there's no line up to face off all the time, Jake.
Very much. And you take a look at the Islanders, Steve. They're capitalizing on the mistakes of the Salmon Bellies. They're looking to continue their goal scoring spree.
Back inside again. Waits going inside. McGallis comes in. Looks, holds on it. McGallis gives it all the way back far. McGallis gets it back, spins, turns it inside, takes a shot, rolls up, actually deflected up and off the roof this time. So give possession back down for the Bellies. Oh, change their mind. They give it back around for the Islanders. I thought the one referee indicated by the Bellies, but I obviously was wrong in that one. Now they come inside again. Crooks turns as Crooks goes wide.
Oh, illegal
Pick
screen.
play, block play. Now they just give a bit of a pushing, and they're still chirping right there. McGallis is having a big discussion back up with Stewartson. Referee just watching him. I didn't know you were allowed to punch a player in the face and not get a penalty call.
I mean, that's what we saw from our broadcast vantage point. Obviously, the officials think different.
Some things you can let go and some you can't. There's some things that you really have to just pull in, and it's like fishing. You got to reel it back in.
Very much.
Back out again as Hinton holds on it. Hinton far side. Hinton's been used sparingly from the second period. Back out to center floor again. They're going to work it back around. Watt comes down. Watt turns, goes wide to the outside, and Watt holds onto it. Sub shot. Good on that pass that time by Schmer, and Schmer goes inside. Watt's off on a change. And he just holds onto it. 5 left in the third period. Shots 54-44 in favor of the Islanders. That's the key thing that the Islanders really have going for them right now. Centering in front, takes a huge shot, pushed off the ball, rolls wide over the outside boards, and Nicholson picks it back up. So they grab it, and Nicholson just throws it straight forward. Good play to get it up to Flack. Flack down the right side. Crooks comes inside. As Crooks goes deep inside the corner. Sets it up. Feeding it back around to Poole. Poole cuts in front. Runs a pick play. Unable to get control. Now goes back around to Crooks. Crooks comes in. Poole's behind the net. Poole's worked off of the ball that time by Segan-Fredo. Staying out in front. Takes a huge shot on that one right there by Crooks. Got it. Booted back up by Plant. Now rolls back the other way again. Out to mid-floor. Good play to set it back up again as they give the cross pass, dish it to Kennedy. Kennedy turns.
Steve, time continuing to wind down here. The Islanders probably need to realize that soon.
I think they know it's just a matter of getting possession of the ball and getting a couple chances. They've had 3 quick goals that you and I've seen so far in the third. Bellies inside. Looks goes after this one, trying to get Lawrence. Stays with his man. Lawrence unable to grab it. Now goes back around with Kennedy taking a shot. Stopped again. Good play for Patton to hold on to it. Patton looks, the ball was way down inside his pad. They pick it back up again, and the Islanders cross to Sass. Sass comes down.
I think the Islanders already took their timeout, Steve, so they might not be able to have a timeout here for the rest of the game.
We will see. We'll know when it happens. If they say we want one, of the referee says, no, you can't. Waits, Hinton comes in. Hinton trying to get it. Turning, going after this one. Kernahan got the shot away. Unable to grab it. It goes back the other way again. Back down to center floor. They hustle their way back in, and Segafredo goes wide against the wall. Nice play for Segafredo. Get it back out to Ferreira in front. Ferrero's inside the corner. Segafredo's off on a change. Let's chase Segafredo off on a change. Back out again to Smurf. He comes inside, trying to grab it. Back out to Board. Board goes wide to the outside, trying to grab it. Takes a one-hopper. Big pickup right there by Noah Ferreira, and he grabs it and just throws it straight forward. Shot clock goes, new 30 in the clock, and the Islanders will get possession, and once they get possession, then they'll start it and go back around. 30's up. Islanders center floor.
Under 3 minutes to go here, Steve, and there you see Hinton back out on the floor.
Hinton goes wide, takes a shot, reset. Big stop of that one right there by Plante. Shoots, scores! A low shot jag completely. Literally caught Plante. Plante was nowhere looking at that ball at all.
Yeah, and that's going to go to Simon Poole. And if you're head coach Nathan Wilson, that's the benefit that you have. You have bona fide goal scorers on your team, such as Logan Hinton, such as Simon Poole. It's not one particular guy that you're looking to put the ball behind the net. And in this case, Simon Poole, he started off hot with a couple of goals. Poole gets another here, and it's a 3-goal game.
Close.
And like you said, that was a goal in tight, not necessarily a far shot, but they got right place and right time.
Very much. Flack goes after his man. Also going inside is Ferreira. That's Josh Ferreira was the one who was deep inside. Now he's going to go off on a change. Couple players pushing.
Oh, we're going to have a penalty here.
Going to have a penalty. I believe this is going for the Islanders from the bench.
I want to see what it's for.
Going to see. Maybe roughing. We'll see what he's going to call. The referee's going to call. Either way, it was undisciplined. He was on the bench.
Unsportsmanlike.
Unsportsman.
So I guess something was said from the bench with the officials, like enough is enough.
Well, that's enough.
So, Steve, this penalty is going to go to Keelan McGallis. He's going to be heading off, and if you're the Islanders, that's a very tough penalty to take at this stage of the game.
Undisciplined as well, especially in the latter stages, as you just made mention about. Now it goes back around. Another penalty coming up, this time going against the Islanders again. Finally, the goaltender for the Phillies just figured it out. Now he's off on the floor.
And
high shot going wide to the outside. Ferreira comes in. Ferreira behind the net, trying to feed it back out this time to 20. Shot taken. Ferreira's going to go after it. 20 comes inside, grabs it against the wall, pushed off of the ball this time. Now it goes back inside him. Flack stayed with him. Shot taken. 30 went.
After the whistle.
Late shot. Now they're going to go after it. They're not happy. Miles is not happy with that shot right there.
And Steve, I want to say the Islanders taking these penalties that they are obviously already on the penalty and then taking another one. These are what I call unnecessary penalties. You're only down by 3 goals. You have a chance to get back in this game, and you're putting yourself back in the penalty box again. I know that's something that head coach Nathan Wilson will want to fix for the Islanders in the coming days.
A slashing minor penalty. Well, they play Sunday, so they better get it fixed out between now and then.
Yes.
2 days. 2 days.
2 days. Well, yes. No.
Today is Friday, right?
Yes, they'll have a chance to fix it tomorrow.
Well, they'll be at the A game tomorrow, so maybe they'll be watching.
Lacrosse Fest.
There will be.
So this penalty, Steve, the second one's going against Logan Lawrence.
So they come inside, waits. Bellies, look, going inside, literally running over him. Now they got a bit of a pushing play inside. Referee grabs him, now it's going wild. The referee coming inside. Miles was the first one to go after his man. And the referee's doing an exceptional job. The young lady's having her hands worked. She's behind it, she can't get in there at all.
Steve, it's the second game of the regular season here in the Junior B1 League, and tempers are already flaring.
Well, Miles is going, he ran over the goalie. You're not going to put up with that. I don't care who you are. You're not going to put up with that one.
No, and that's something that you don't do. You don't run over the goalie, and I think the Bellies are going to be assessed a penalty here.
That's tough. Situations like that, and I'll be fair without being overly really critical, because I'll be fair and honest.
Very much.
That situation took place. The gentleman doing the game went in, grabbed his player, and literally manhandled Miles off it. The young lady referee, and that was out of her context. She went in and tried to grab a couple of players, and she just backed off because she couldn't get. They were swinging.
And
I don't blame her for that.
And like Yeah, exactly. Like you said, the officials, they have to be aware of their safety and surroundings
Completely.
as well. So there's not much that they can do there. And I think they have their book out now. This is what you call a riot pad, I believe.
That's what I call it. Yep.
I think I learned that from you.
You know, in a case like this, it's tough. They've got the notepad out. And if we look at the Warriors, they've got 3 officials on the floor. They've got 1 in the penalty box. And the 1 in the penalty box, if there's any altercations on the floor that transpire, the 1 in the penalty box can take notes and let everybody know that. You got 2 officials. How do you pull your riot pad out and start taking numbers, you know, when you're having an altercation, which is tough?
And I mean, the officials were in the middle of it too, so there wasn't really a third eye watching what was going on the outsides because the officials had their hands full. So, you know, like you said, it's, you know, we're very grateful for the officials. It's a thankless job, especially with the shortages that we've had over the last couple of years. But like you said, it's sort of hard to detail down the nitty-gritty as to what specifically happened in the situation with there only being 2 officials.
Well, I think they were frustrated with that one because he ran over the goaltender. I think that's the biggest thing right there.
I think no matter what sport it is, hockey, soccer, or football like it's called, you just don't do that. It's an unwritten rule. You don't mess with the goaltender.
No, never. So we'll wait. The officials taking notes. They're writing the notepad down. And what they're doing right now, just so everybody knows, I believe you can see the officials. Yes, you can. You can see the officials center screen. So what they're actually doing, they took their notepad out, and they're writing down what they're going to call. On the left side, you might have Delta. The right side, you might have your New West. So you draw a line down the middle of the 2, and then you put 7 was with 6. And then you cross out the penalties to cancel out the penalties all appropriately. That's the way it goes in the refereeing world.
Well, 1:48 left in this game, Steve. It's a 3-goal deficit, but in the sport of lacrosse, that is as good as a 1-goal lead. So anything can still happen. But if you're the Delta Islanders, you've got to make sure that what you're trying to execute does happen in the way that you're trying to execute it. And there you see the captains of both teams, that being Matias Seganfredo as well as Michael Burt, discussing with the official. Yeah,
good camera work. Sophie's got them right in screen. She lets us know what's going on. There, you can see it right there. Again, special welcome to everybody listening in for our new streaming provider. Very, very exceptional to have them on board. And boy, I'd be lost without them. Between Hugh and Alex and Mateo, I'd be lost. I'd be a lost cause. I like it when you have somebody send you a text at 4 in the morning and you reply to them real quick. That's good.
Oh,
and people are saying, you answer your phone at 4 in the morning? Yeah, I do.
Well, we're early risers. We like to get started early in the day and kind of, get started with it.
You know my logic for that? If it's 4 o'clock here, it's 7 o'clock in Toronto.
Yeah, well,
it's
there
fine.
you go.
It's fine.
And Steve, I know you have a few relatives out in the East Coast as well. So
lots.
Yeah, lots. So it's no big question. I mean, I myself, I like to get up pretty early in the morning and get to training. But
my dogs wake me up.
Well, they're great to have around. I know. I remember last week when we went out to Chilliwack, they were missing you a lot.
So we're going to see what's going to transpire.
Well, no, Steve, I think like you said, special thank you to everyone who's tuned into the broadcast, everyone behind the scenes that make it work. And, we have a great crew working behind the scenes, ensuring that Sports Wave Media is able to bring you coverage of Delta Islanders lacrosse all summer long. And, the lacrosse season, it extends into the middle of July. And, we like to do it all the way. We're going to be here all summer long, and there's no place that we'd rather be.
We will be here from now until it's over, which is really nice. And as you made mention earlier on, not only are we going to be doing the B1s, the B2s, and the Junior A, we've also talked to Kevin Adlam with Eastlink TV, and they're going to be doing the Pioneers, as well as if the Islanders EAs have a game on a Wednesday night, we'll be doing those on TV as well.
Well, like I said, Steve, it's great. And, the fact we're doing it on Eastlink TV this year, too, it's only going to expand the coverage to everyone watching around the nation. And we have such a great crew that works with us on Eastlink, too, during the hockey season. So to be able to work with them during the lacrosse season, I am very excited.
Yeah, minor sports, this is what it's all about. It's all about the growth. And, of course, we have yet to cover pickleball, but that's in the realm
works.
of, we will cover that one.
Oh, we still have a few sports in the works. Like you said, ball hockey is one. Pickleball is one. And we're always looking to expand our horizons.
Okay, so what do we got? We've got... I guess a 5-on-3 still?
I think that seems to be the case. No, it's going to be a 3. It's going to be a 4-on-3. Or yes, it is going to be a 5-on-3 still for the New West Salmon Bellies.
Still a 5-on-3. So obviously all the penalties that were called were coincidental or canceled out.
And like you said, Steve, on the pad, it was perhaps written down that this one canceled out with the other one, so it's coincidental.
That's exactly what you do. So 1:40 left in the third. 14-11 for the Bellies. Back pass over the shoulder. They get this one and get control again, trying to throw it inside. Cross pass. Nice stop of this one right there by Patton. Boy, that was a save right there. That goes back out the center floor. King was taken off the ball. He throws it back. Now King gets it back himself. As King gives it back inside the Poole. Poole goes off of the wall. Now King goes off on a change, and Poole just takes his time, goes out the center floor, wants to see who's wide open. Not a lot of them. There's two down in the Bellies half, and the other one was deep inside his own half, defending one of the players for the Bellies that was inside. A minute left in the third. Now they go back. Lob pass. Back out the center floor again. They hold on to it. 20 comes in. He gets it home. Holding on it. Throws it back over the right side again. Back to Eckert. Waits. Holding on it. What are they going to do with it? Not sure. Board comes in. Takes a shot. Scrambling. Blocked right there. And Board calls for it. So gets it back. Cooper Board. Looks. Throws it back. Now Board comes inside. Back out the front. Back out the high slot. Center floor. 20 goes in. Takes a shot. Stopped easily again by Padden.
Steve, 30 seconds left to go in the game. The Islanders have to hurry.
There's one minor penalty expired, so they're only one short right now. A little bit too little, too late, I guess is the best way to say it, Jack. Now they go back inside again as they hustle their way back around again. Islanders pressing. Shot taken by McGallis. Off of the back wall. They're trying to pick this one back up, holding on to it. Clock ticks down. Good play to set it back up to Burt. Burt out to McGallis. Rips a shot. Stopped again by Plante. Holds on to it. Plante gives it to his old man. And the Bellies hold on to it. The buzzer goes to end period number 3. And the two of them are chirping. McGallis was having a bit of a conversation with Stewartson at the end of it right there. Both trading tails. Well, what an interesting game, Jag, from start to finish. Final score 14-11 in favor of the Bellies. They started slow, but boy, they just picked up speed like a snowball going downhill.
Well, in certain words, as we like to say it here at the lacrosse box, that's the ball game.
That's what they have right there. But no, it was good.
No, like you said, it was a really good game here to open up the season for us here, at least on Sports Wave TV.
Yeah, I like that. That was good. That was good. Hey, Stevie.
Second game.
How you doing? I'm just visiting. I'm visiting right now. I'm talking to the ex-owner for the McDonald's in Ladner here in Tawasin.
So,
Steve Kowalchuk.
Yes, this is the second game of the season now for the Delta Islanders B1 team in the books. And as you see, there'll be the handshake line, the best tradition in sports here, Steve. We see it between these teams all the time, or rather between all teams here at the junior B1 level. The best tradition in sports. After a hard-fought, intense game, they get to exchange handshakes.
They do, and the players know right now, as hard, as aggressive as the game went, and it continued to go on, the last thing you want to do is do any foolishness in the line shake. Going through after that, because that's when the league gets involved and, possible suspension. So the players have to be cool, calm, collected. Congratulations. They go back and give a bit of a high five to the two referees. Referees did a commendable job. I have to commend them on that one.
Yeah, very much. And Steve, it's not like this game was a blowout by any stretch of the imagination. Even when it was a 6 or 7 goal game, the Islanders kept it competitive. It was a very competitive game through in and throughout. And of course, as we continue on in our post-game show, we'll talk about what went right, what went wrong for the Delta Islanders. But overall, a very well-played game.
Were you surprised that they left Patton in for in the third period when they pulled him out in the second?
Not at all. I think knowing head coach Nathan Wilson, he has that sort of trust in his goaltender. He knows that perhaps all he needed was a bit of a moment to calm down, cool down, maybe get the team in front of him, provide a bit of a spark there. And unfortunately, a tough loss for the Delta Islanders, but they'll have a chance to bounce back in about 2 days. If I was to point out perhaps if things I'd like to see better from the Delta Islanders heading into Sunday's game, I'd say overall I'd want to see a better defensive pressure. They knew as Salmon Bellies in transition, they got a lot of opportunities. They were able to communicate, make the right passes, make the right plays, and I'd like to see a bit more defensive pressure from the Delta Islanders. I think their offense flowed well. They were creating transition opportunities of their own. I think, at the end of it, it was just a bit too little too late in their attempts to get back and tie this game, but overall a well-played game.
Interesting, at the end of the game, I see Poole over there, and he was talking to the backup goaltender, Boris Maximenko, for the New West, and they had a good conversation, so obviously they know each other very well.
Yeah, very much, and that's the thing with the lacrosse community here, Steve. It's a very tight-knit group. Everyone knows one another, and that's why I said the competitiveness is there in the sport. It is a very highly competitive sport, but at the end of the day, these rivalries, you want to call it, they turn into friendships off of the floor. And for the Delta Islanders and the New West Salmon Bellies, I know that they're going to be seeing each other down the line this season for sure. So you know,
They
the next
will.
time these two teams meet, it's going to be just as competitive.
Okay, final thoughts for today's game.
Well, if I were to choose a player of the game, Steve, for both teams, for the Delta Islanders, I'm going to have to go with Levi Crooks. I think in the third period, he was very competitive. He definitely gave his team a chance, an opportunity to be in the game, obviously scoring a couple goals to get them back into it. But if I have to choose a player of the game for the New West Island Bellies, I'm going to go with number 2, Matthias Seguin-Fredo. He is sort of like a player I'd like to describe as Brad Marchand. You hate to play against him, but you love having him on the team. He's a little spark plug, as you'd like to call it, always creating chaos, always creating havoc. He had a couple of goals on the offensive front as well, and for him, he will be happy with the result as the Salmon Bellies walk away with a 14-11 victory here at the Ladner Leisure Center.
Hope everyone's enjoyed the call for today's game. We got another game on Sunday afternoon here, 2 o'clock face-off, and they are playing Victoria Shamrocks on Sunday afternoon for the B1. We are not doing the game tomorrow night due to prior commitments that was already prearranged for us. So Sunday afternoon, 2 o'clock, join myself and Jag and Sophie again for the call for the game right here from the Ladner Leisure Center. Final score of the game, the New West Bellies defeated the Ladner Delta Islanders, okay, I call them Ladner, Delta Islanders by a 14-11 score. Final shots, 58-48 in favor of Delta. So they know they've got a little bit to work on, and they'll work it all out. So till our broadcast Sunday afternoon, enjoy the rest of your Friday evening and your special Saturday. Till our broadcast Sunday, if you don't play sport, at least be one.